sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. If all the things you never show, there are the things I want you to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go.
Okay, hey guys. Oh, Charmaine, how are you on top of me? How are you on top of me?
I don't know, but this new setup, like since you made me like an admin, I don't know where to type in chat. So,
Oh, just hit comments onto the side there. You should see the
Well,
word comments.
I can see all the comments, but I don't see my
Yeah,
box.
yeah, right at the bottom. It's right there. You should see the same thing I'm seeing, eh?
No,
You can.
seriously.
Eh.
Doesn't-
Anyways, welcome to the live, you guys. I was gonna do it earlier, but again, I mean, you guys seen the title of the live, and yeah, give Janie a mic, and she was just going and going and going, and I was like, how can I do a live at 3 o'clock? I'm sitting here listening to all these messages. You know, Janie, she had a space today, but we're gonna get into that in a minute. She was speaking her truth in the private chat, so you guys actually don't get to hear the audio from that. That's out of respect for Lana's channel, and it was in a private one, okay, guys. So have to make that very clear. We can talk about what we heard, of course, Janie, because I'm sure she wants people to understand certain things for sure. And another thing we're going to talk about is Daniel's, I guess, new girlfriend, which I would say has been verified. I don't know what the heck is up with that myself, but anyways, what a crazy day, because I was working, and it was like trying to keep up and stuff like that on my breaks, and it was just like, yeah, like a mad day really for a bunch of stuff coming out, but grateful. I want to say grateful. But last night, you guys, actually, you know what? Let me not be rude. Hi, Kent. What the heck? Hi, Charmaine. You guys,
Hi.
and Kent for the first time showing himself that he's not Darren.
Woo-woo. I knew that. I'm just going to say it straight up. I knew you weren't Darren. But
There you go. Go ahead, Kent. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, it was an interesting day for anybody and everybody who was in the chat. And thank Lana and Bree for moderating it to the best of their abilities, no matter what everybody else says. Anybody who wasn't in that chat that might have tried to get in that chat, according to the other on-centered chat group, they didn't understand why they should have to be invited. They thought they should be able to just join in and get the gossip or whatever you want to call it. And but I'm sure that we'll have a discussion here this evening about it. It's early enough in the day, so there was some light in the room where I'm at, so I figured I'd show my face My real name is there. I don't know how to look at the chat and comment in the chat when I have my camera out, so I will probably drop back and come back up and won't have my camera on, but I just thought that with comments being made in different channels and on here the last couple of times there was comments asking, is Kent Darren? Well, I think you can tell that we don't look alike.
No. Listen, I don't know. I feel like a twinsies is going on a little bit.
No.
No, no. Anyways,
Look
so
at this
this is,
beautiful face.
I was gonna, no, Ken, I'm just trying to remember. Did you send me a video before of yourself, or was it just a picture? I'm trying to remember.
Just pictures.
I think it was just a picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
sent you
this is,
2 pictures. One of when I was running for local municipal councillor. That was a dressed up shot, and the other one I was sitting in the back of the truck going
yeah,
through the parade.
yeah. First, yeah, nice to actually see Kent today, isn't it, guys? Absolutely. Everyone's sitting there saying thanks for coming on. Nice to meet you, Kent. It's always nice to put a face to our voice. Absolutely. So again, this is a treat for us as well because it's first time down there. And yeah, we'll talk about Darren in a bit and stuff like that. But like I said, so if you guys don't mind, of course, you guys know, please hit that like and share for Jack and Lily. Remember, that's always the focus of anything that we do, is Jack and Lily first and foremost, because this is what it's about. What happened to Jack and Lily? And we know that this is like a crazy, wonky, cracky case. You know, it is like it's like the wild west of Canadian cases right now. I swear, something that should have been very simple turned into this absurd case, and it keeps getting absurder. To be honest, you know, and I mean, thank you for everyone that from the family that keeps speaking out. That's what you want. You want answers for Jack and Lily, right, Charmaine?
I was going to say, I'm really. Why do I have an echo?
I don't hear an echo. Are you playing yourself twice? Do you have 2 microphones plugged in?
Well, no.
There's no
Okay,
echo.
my echo's gone. Okay. I was going to say that it was really good to hear Janie's voice today. Not just that, but it was good to hear that the family is also fed up with the lack of information coming from the RCMP. And that is why Janie said that she's come forward now that her interview is done. She felt a huge weight off of her chest, and she wanted to join that group and field questions and answer them with her own voice, which to me is huge. So, but it was really good to hear that her reason for that partially is because of the lack of transparency with the RCMP, even to them. Like they're also not getting updates. So,
Right. Absolutely.
I
Now, so I want to say that yesterday I was being a little sloot, wasn't I? I ended up on somebody else's live yesterday.
I heard rumors. Whose live were you on? If you were you on Clutch Them Pearls?
No, I was on.
Okay.
You know what? I'll just simply bring it up on the screen. So I actually hadn't heard of this channel. It's called Voices Behind the Wall. And so I went in it, right? And it's very rare that I type in somebody's chat. I do it now and again, but it's very rare. But I saw a lot of the regulars that we see in here for this case in there. And yes, and Mark, including Joe, the one that you blocked. But anyways, I saw Mama Angie in there. Remember when that I desert you, Christina, but thank you for becoming a member. Do. Especially for some ice cream. It's been so hot, you guys. It's 30 degrees over here. It's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still hot. Yeah, did you there, yeah, Rhonda. So yeah, so yeah, I was being a sleuth. I would guess I was kind of hoeing around there. And so I what happened was is that I click, every once in a while I'll click on YouTube and then videos come up, and I know that there was one to the left that was a total bullshit one, and I was like, F off to that one. And then because it was AI, it was just a bunch of bull crap. And then I seen the voices one here. And what was it again? Sorry, my bad. Voices behind the wall. Okay, I want to make sure I get that right. And so I thought I'd click on it, and why not, right? And I never heard of it, so I thought I'll click on it, see a bunch of people in there, and then I'm talking, right, type of thing, and I'm just like, well, let me just go ask my husband when he's going to bed, and then so yeah, so it was like, so it was so funny. It didn't even dawn on me, you guys. So you see where it says voices up in the left hand corner, all right? So her name is Cher, right? So of course I'm Sunny, and it didn't even dawn on me the Sunny, because Sunny and Cher, right? Which I always associate whenever somebody spells my name wrong with an O, which it's a U, I always think of Sunny and Cher. But anyways, it didn't even dawn on me until a couple of people picked it out. And then there was Mandy, and I feel like I want to say that Barnes and Noble, I think her name was Tammy, if I'm not mistaken. And so they had asked me if I want to come up, and I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. Talk about the case. And then then they had said, I think Justin was on. And so, but then he had gone down. And so this is when this wild, wacky, I guess, crap was happening about this girlfriend. So this person named Luminous comes in, and basically, they're saying, Sonny, what do you think about this person saying that Daniel has a new girlfriend? And I'm like, I call shit basically on that, right? Come on now. Really? Do you honestly think, after kids go disappearing, that Daniel's going to have a girlfriend? I mean, not even, I'm thinking the stupidest person would get a girlfriend. Just seriously, right? So we're kind of talking about that. And then Justin comes on, and then Justin's like, well, yeah, I mean, like, so Luminous wasn't the girlfriend, but Luminous was speaking and telling that Danny, it was the girlfriend's friend, Luminous was, right? And so Justin comes back, and he's like, wasn't sure if he was supposed to talk about it for a second, but then Luminous said, go ahead, whatever I said, you can say. So Justin's just like, well, yeah. That actually, you know what? Why don't I just play it? I'm just gonna play it for you guys. So again, this is Voices Behind the Wall. So shout out to them. It was, a nice little live chat thing there. And like I said, and then Justin popped on with little Remy. And I remember I told Justin, I was like, I thought that was like a figment of your imagination person, because I didn't see this monkey till well into watching Clutch Some Pearls, like meaning from months and months ago. So I didn't realize that it was an actual monkey till I seen it one day, and then they called it Remy or whatever, and I'm like, oh, it's not just what was I going to say? Illusional partner there. So let me go to the part. So I started there, and then let me just see where. Hold on, come on now. Hit play. Belinda, yeah, Belinda. Wait. Hold on, let me go to where Justin comes in. So yeah, I was cheating on you guys a little bit. Didn't know I was going to. Okay, so here's Justin comes back on, but let's get into it a little bit. Let's start here, I guess. 4 hour, and she ended up watching that whole freaking 5 hour live almost tonight, eh? And so, but anyways, I asked her. I said, "How are you sleeping?" Basically, and she said, "Not good." Basically, 24/7. She's thinking about the kids. She's going to bed. She's wondering what the answers are. That's all she wants to know. She doesn't feel like they're alive. She said it. We've talked about it. She's struggling to sleep because of the situation. So, but I hadn't really talked to her about that. I just know because she looks at my messages at different hours. I'm like, how are you still awake? But anyways, hi, Justin.
And that's what we would expect from a worried grandparent, right?
Exactly.
He's not out boozing it up and sleeping and going on the Walk of Fame, taking pictures with Batman and Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about Belinda?
Belinda.
I
Yeah.
love Belinda.
She's great.
And really
I mean,
quick, can I just say, somebody said in chat, and I'm really sorry, but we have Sonny and Cher up here. You know,
Oh!
That's so funny.
it's so
and
funny.
we're both Canadian. There's
I
a
got
show
you.
in that.
You guys are the Sonny and Cher of Canada.
How did I miss that? Because
I
everyone
know.
at
I
work,
just saw it in chat, and I'm like,
that's
you
so
guys.
funny.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Everyone always spells my name Sonny, and whenever I see it, I always think of Sonny and Cher. I'm like, look, I'm female. I'm not Sonny and Cher. I'm Sunny. But anyways, that's so funny that I didn't even catch on to that.
I didn't either. So 2 people in chat said it, and that's awesome. Yeah, we'll have to plan a panel for you guys, the Sonny and Cher show. Yeah,
that's funny. That is actually funny.
Yes, we need
Justin,
to
how did that
remake.
situation go? We were letting Sonny know that we had
It's very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
She is who she says she is.
She's back in the chat. She's been back for a little while. That's why people were like
Okay.
sending out, bolo for you.
Well, you know what,
so-
Luminous? We appreciate that you contacted.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And okay, well, interesting. So Daniel has a new girlfriend.
Yep.
So, how much? What can you share? Share what you can share.
Yeah, what can you share?
I don't know, so I'm going to have to ask her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, no, I get it. Well, that's very interesting.
You
Okay.
always want to vet everything, of course.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
No skiing for you.
And any type of validation of any kind that you can get, I'm sure would be amazing.
well, I mean,
But you feel comfortable enough to say Daniel's
I
got a
put
new
her
girl.
through the ringer. I mean,
Okay.
she had to show me some stuff. That's all
Daniel's
I
got a
can
new girlfriend is all you can really say. Like
Yeah.
you
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
so far, that's what it looks like.
I would think so.
That doesn't look good, Daniel.
It would not look good, Daniel. I'm telling you right now.
Sonny, this person also said that this new girlfriend also has children.
Okay, so now she says,
Women-
Lumina says, you can confirm what I said in chat.
Okay. So yeah, he definitely has a girlfriend. Yeah.
So, is it possible that maybe
Pictures?
it's like a make you jealous type thing happening? Like,
I don't think
feel like-
so.
I feel like he's been hardcore wanting Malia back. So, well, look at this new candy I got on my
That
arm
was really
here.
quick. So, Justin, I guess it'll be your job to kind of figure out when do you think new girlfriend was actually involved. Because
Yeah,
I'm going to
they're
tell
in
you
love
what,
already.
that makes me think like, oh, not so cutesy, but like, is that motive?
Well, that's what I was asking and stuff. So, but she says they were not together whenever Daniel and Malay were together, and I can see it seems very new.
I was going to say, is it new?
Yeah,
Obviously,
it seems very new.
Okay. And you know what?
But
Again, if there's truth to it, there's truth to it. I will not
But
look
she
down on
loves him.
Daniel whatsoever, obviously. But
Luminous said
You know,
the new girlfriend loves Daniel. And that's
Yeah,
why she won't
I mean,
wear a wire. That's very quick.
I would say,
Oh, okay. Doesn't matter if she has
Yeah.
children. Okay. So she might not.
do I think Daniel's going to hurt any kids right now or anything like that? No, I don't think. I think there's way too many fucking eyes on him. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what I do think is, I think this, and I told Luminous this. I think she should be extremely careful because of this situation, with her own kid. Because, obviously CPS is involved, and, Daniel shouldn't be around kids, which, just because he's dating her doesn't mean the kids are going to be around him either,
If he does have kids.
and I think there's some distance. I think there's some distance between where he lives and where she lives.
Well, I would hope that
online. Oh, sorry.
if she does have children, I would hope that she's keeping them away from him for not just the fact that Jack and Lily are missing, but because he's not even allowed to see his own children right
That's
now.
what I'm saying. It's precisely what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
He's not allowed to be around. When you have a CPS case and you can't be, you're not supposed to be around kids. Or that's how it is in the United
Luminous, if you're
States.
still in chat, does this make you happy for your, like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Because you're in here, like, are you worried about your friend? Like, well, this man is in this national spotlight,
He's a
spotlight the way he is. Yeah, he is a suspect. I'll tell you that he definitely is a suspect because, Sonny, I don't know how RCMP is acting where you are, but I can say for sure where I'm at, they're very open about what they're thinking.
Yes. He's a suspect. So I can't see why someone would want to entertain him.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Yeah, how do you feel if that's of your friend with this man?
Well, but you got to
Maybe you
keep in
don't
mind
answer,
too.
but
But this is everyone's a good guy whenever you first start dating them. Everyone is. It's new love. And this is the thing. I think I told I think I told Sonny this. I think I told Luminous this. Nobody thinks clearly when they're in love. Love or lust.
I
You
think I'd
don't
be
think
thinking a
clear.
little bit more if I got like the law pounding on my door in the middle of the night,
But-
possibly, which is a very big possibility.
You're
Let's
in
be
love
real,
with the
though.
feeling though.
Yeah,
Let's be
that's
real,
true.
though.
Yeah, it's
There
like a drug. It's addicting. Yep.
There are women who seek out men in prison to relationships with them.
Daniel accused Cindy Murray of that, actually. I don't know that I've ever shown that, but Daniel accused Cindy Murray. Actually, I probably haven't shown it. So he accused Cindy Murray that she was talking with a MRR, through mail, through mail, through whatever. Anyways, again, sorry. That's, well, whatever it is. You know what? I'm just here for the truth for Jack and Lily. If people want to put themselves in predicaments or situations, that's on them. They're adults. They have choices. That's all I can say. The fight is for Jack and Lily. And whatever weirdness goes on behind that, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want the truth. Like, don't care who it is or what. Just want the truth, whatever that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe perhaps like this whole, meet Malaya at the waterfall again, because then bring back the old Daniel. Like I said, we're talking about red
Daniel.
flags.
Well, that's he's saying that he changed there, right?
Leave that there. Anyways, that was Voices Behind the Wall. Okay, you guys can go watch that live. The rest of it. Okay, Kent. You had said, I'm just gonna let you say it because you said that Darren. Wait, are you muted again, dude? What you doing?
You got me on mute.
I didn't mute you. I'm not muting you. I swear.
I did,
Well-
because his mic wasn't muted, and when he's not muted and you're talking, you can hear. So I did. My bad. I'm sorry. I was scrolling back to find what day my conversation is with Daniel for my comments.
So today, I was talking to Darren, and first time in a couple days, and that was a question that I asked him, and he said that Daniel told him on Tuesday. Now, I don't know if they went out on multiple dates, one date. All I know is that, yes, he's supposed to be dating, and I can't confirm because Darren didn't know. Like Luminous said there, that whether or not she has
Saskatchewan.
kids, I
And
don't know that.
Saskatchewan. Yeah, as well, Ken. That apparently, because so Justin was talking with Luminous behind the scenes, and then Justin came back and said, yep, got proof. Like, and so as we heard here, that Justin had made a comment about it being like a distant relationship, it seems like, and that she's from some Saskatchewan reserve. Um, anyways, freaking Cocoa for freaking, what is this? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? It's like, seriously. Now, to me, this is just, I don't want to say side drama, because
Why?
I mean, it's just, how crazy can this case keep getting? Is like, it's freaking crazy that two kids are missing, and it feels like we're in the wild freaking west of kooky crazy Cocoa freaking Puffs. It's just wacky. It's crazy that
And
all
that's
this.
what I state by. Some people might be shocked by the truth. It's not that I know any more truth than you, but between what we know and been told by different people so far, and with what the ones that learned in Lana's chat this afternoon, I know that it seems to be weird, but at least
Weird.
parts of what we've been told may be the case. And we have one more person besides the RCMP that we need to hear from. Either can start confirming stuff or denying stuff. And if she's going to deny stuff, tell us why. And that's Malaya.
Absolutely.
She's the last one to speak out of the ones that everybody wants to hear. Now, I know everybody in this chat hasn't heard what Janie said this afternoon, but I'll tell you, at one point, my eyes were wet and I was crying because I felt that she had it. She broke down. She was telling the truth. Some things are a little bit different than what her son says. Some
Mhm.
things are a little bit different than what Darren says. But you couldn't deny that that woman this afternoon was having grief trying to tell a story.
I will agree with that. You guys, we heard a lot this afternoon from Janie. And when I say a lot, I'm talking freaking a shopping cart, freaking a couple buggies worth, etc. worth of stuff out of Janie. She poured out her heart. I will say that for sure, right? Obviously, there's things that don't mesh with what Daniel has said to what Janie's saying still. But I will say that Janie, when emotions are just authentic in a sense, regardless wherever those emotions are coming from within you, um, you couldn't help but Kent was tearing up. I mean, my heart breaks for anyone, but by the same token, I want to say this is that, for so long we've been asking, well, Daniel, if he wanted to come up to be a voice. There is a huge difference when you literally have a person talking. So, although it was through voice, because once Jenny got hold of that freaking mic, she was just like, because she was typing for a bit, and then Bree had said like, "Well, we use the mic." I swear to God, once she got hold of this mic, she just was easy, right? Easy peasy. Just sitting there. She was just messages, answering all these questions. Lana and Brie controlled it. So basically, all the messages had to go through them and gave Janie that space. Okay. So instead of Janie feeling overwhelmed, they gave her the space. Here's a question. And then Janie would answer it. Okay. But
But
I
by
mean,
the end of it, she just kept coming. We didn't have to ask her questions.
No.
I'm telling you guys, when you hear it from her, if this is what she has given in her interview to CBC, I think a lot of people will be feeling about Janie same way that they feel about Belinda. And it's honest and sincere. And because she went through at one point, she started at Monday morning back on April 28th or whatever the date would end up being, and went through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday morning. So, like I say, I'm sure anybody else, I would beg to question anybody that's in this chat this afternoon that listens to Janie in that chat, if they can honestly say that she wasn't being sincere. Because I don't think anybody could deny that.
Well, and that's what I say. Janie speaks her truth on the thumbnail. Charmaine, let's go to you with this for a second. Let's go to you. Charmaine, you do you. Say what you say. Be you. Be authentic as always. What's you feeling? Go ahead. You go ahead. Truthbuster.
She was being authentic with the information and the answers that she was giving. She is, she's quite emotional and I believe worried about certain things. Absolutely. Using her words, using her voice instead of these messages, texting, entering chats, whatever. Stellar. That's what needs to happen with everybody in this case. The information she gave, have I changed my thought on Janie? Slightly. Yes, I have. But I still believe, and until the day that, and I'm not saying that Danielle has to come onto this channel and blah, 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 whatever. I'm saying that until Daniel can clarify all of the misstatements, mistruths, the information that he's put out and has been inconsistent about, until he can clarify that himself, Daniel is the one supplying the information and the account of what happened inside the house or whatever, whatnot. He's the one giving this information, and these people are believing. That's what I think about it. And do I believe that she was being authentic today? Absolutely. Do I think that her emotion was real?
It's not. Yeah.
Without question. Without question. Needed to happen. It was really good. And Lana and Bree killed it. So guys, it wasn't a video. It was a private chat. And the way it worked, we were to send private messages to Lana and Bree. And those are the only two ladies who were posing questions in the chat room. And then once Janie found the little microphone record button on her messenger, all bets were off. She was quick, she was precise, she was emotional, she was honest, she was vulnerable. Everything that you'd want to see from a grandparent worried about her grandchildren. Some of the answers that she gave, obviously, make me, because I question everything and anyone. So, I mean, I don't know how much further you want me to go with that, or if you want me to get into Daniel having an.
Go ahead.
I mean,
we're going to talk about lots of the conversation, because again, we're allowed to talk about the conversation. I just can't play you guys the audio clips or show you it, and so you're just going to have to live with that and trust us as always, right? Just can't show you the receipts, but anyone that was in that chat, right, Lana and Bree and everyone else, Belinda, can tell you about this conversation that went on. And yeah, I mean, again, you know what? Whenever we've pushed for Daniel to come on, or even Janie, it's because, again, we know the difference. Okay, it's pretty clear the difference when Belinda's on, and she does an interview, right? on CBC or when she was on here, even though I know it was the Avatar thing, but you're hearing true emotion. You're getting, that's what you're feeling. That's what I've been always trying to make Janie lately, but Daniel, to understand. If you want to tell your truth, you need to get, and same as Charmaine saying it, you need to get your butt from talking like this and just like Janie did today. If Janie would have done this a long time ago, it would have been a different story. And maybe not towards Daniel, but towards Janie, right? Because this happened over 2 months ago, 2 months and 11 days. Okay. So, I mean, honestly, I would have loved to have seen this happen before, but that was always my point, is that it wasn't about begging Daniel to be on this channel. It was if he wanted to, fine, and if Janie wanted to, but they kept doing this, and when you're doing that, you just think people twist it. You're not saying it right. It takes you forever to even type. Like when Janie was trying to type today, once she got hold of that mic, man, she just let loose. She was just letting her rip. All right. There was message after message after message. And you could hear Janie's voice. You could hear her crying. You could hear how much she wants, was talking about Lily and Jack, and she was talking, and that, let's remind people of this. Again, Lily and Jack, right? She was talking about these moments with Jack and the Bogs, and the salamander. And she's talking about Lily with the mud pies, that Lily was a kitchen person and that Jack was a bug person. And you could hear that, when somebody's telling a story and you're a proud, I know she's not the actual grandmother, but you can hear these little giggles at some points when she's telling the story about Lily and Jack playing outside and stuff like that. I would there, welcome back, Kent. Hey, back. But anyways, so there was a lot said. Janie said a lot. So again, I think that doing the interview, and it's too bad in hindsight for her, because had she done that maybe a while ago, but you know what? That's not true. People do things when they're ready. Even if we don't agree with it, they do things when they're ready to. But like Janie said, once she unleashed herself to the CBC News, she felt then now she could kind of okay, you know what? I got that off my shoulders. I've done the interview. I don't like doing interviews. I don't like talking to reporters. She did say that she wasn't up for it to get hounded by reporters. It's just not her thing. She did make them come to the property, and do that. And but yeah, so it was just kind of she just felt like she wanted to just go, you know what? Let's just talk about it in the private chat. She was just like, yeah, you know what? Let's just do this. And then she had some hard moments, right? Take a breather for a minute. And then she would come back and be like, okay, I'm ready to tell you more. It was great. Go on, Kent or Charmaine next. One of you two.
No, we don't know when. Oh, sorry, Charmaine. We don't know when her video will air. We know that Sonny was talking to Belinda and knew Belinda had done one, and it come out 10 days to maybe 2 weeks after. So we know that Darren done his a week ago Thursday, and we know that Janie done hers this past Thursday at the house. And one of the reasons why she wanted it at the house is so she could show people different things, such as the pothole, which we found out today. Everyone that has the pothole circled at the end of the driveway where the kids stand for the bus, that's not the pothole. And if you listen to Janie, there wasn't even a pothole. Is what she was doing the night before was raking gravel down off the bank behind her RV to level out a spot because they were buying a kiddie pool. supposed to be, and that's what they were fixing the spot
Was
on the
Daniel?
driveway up for.
Yeah, Daniel had made mention to that as well. So, but this is where it got crazy, and I'm sorry, but it did. Is that the problem here is that Darren was speaking for Daniel and Janie, and we all know that. I mean, that's a whopper bunch of information to kind of put out there without getting mixed up a bit or things being said improperly. And I know Darren said that Janie gave him shit for saying some things wrong, but that's what happens. Is that the minute a droplet of information comes out and it's said the wrong way, well, I mean, as soon as it's said, it's right across the internet of this case, right? And then people might not see that there's been a different story said about it, and then it becomes part of the thing. And then, and so that's what sucks, is that this third person was talking, well, for Daniel, and for Janie, but thankfully, Janie now spoke for herself. Thank you, Janie. Thank you. Because now we heard that raw emotion that, however anyone wants to take this, bottom line is, I keep telling you guys, whenever, I know that you guys don't hear this private chat, but whenever you hear family speaking, you do listen, regardless of it, because that's the most important part of any case, is what family members are saying. What? Go ahead. Well, your thing kind of kicks in. Anyways, so she got her space to let freaking unleash it. She did. I mean, I probably got about, I don't know, freaking 50, if not more, voice clips, right, that are there. So of course I'm going to save them for myself. I can't go back and scroll through all the darn chats and people and things said. Kept forwarding to myself, obviously. So I want to go back and listen later, right? So I can listen to them properly. Because there was a lot said, and I was working, right? So I'm sitting here like on my break and sitting there going, okay, forward. Because for all I know, some of them could have got deleted or something like that beyond that. But, I just want to go hear the information. Simple as that. Anyways, Kent, what are a couple of things that you heard? Like, what's one thing that stuck out to you?
Well, all right. One thing, and I asked the question. I said, because we all heard that Malaya wasn't expecting Janie to be home, right?
We did.
That she got caught sort of possibly doing something wrong. And I said, well, if Janie was home, where was her car? And if her car was in the driveway when Malaya went outside, wouldn't she automatically think that Janie was home?
Absolutely.
But the car was home. So why Malaya had a look on her face that she got caught doing something wrong? Or maybe that Janie wasn't home? I don't know. I can't tell you that. That's what I say. After today, and for the ones that was in the chat, and after CBC comes out with Darren's and Belinda's interview, or not Belinda, sorry, Janie's interview, everybody will have to make up their own mind, but the only person that will be waiting to hear from that would have any more information or thoughts why one thing was one way and not another would be Malaya. Or the RCMP comes out beforehand and says, listen, this is what happened. But everybody knows, even if the RCMP comes out, we're not going to get all the information questions answered from them that you want until it goes to court, because they're not going to jeopardize any of their evidence. As much as they don't want to talk about it now, you can assure that they're not going to want to talk about it when they lay charges and it's pending a court case.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was one thing that I had confirmed up. The pothole was another thing, which somebody else asked. I asked it, but it got answered before Lana sent mine through. Yeah. There was one other question that I asked too. I'm trying to think of it without being able to switch back and forth. Like somebody says, I'm telling you, folks, like when she started talking, she went from the Monday before the kids was missing, saying that they went to, and I don't know if I'm putting this information out there and it shouldn't be or what, but on Wednesday, the kids went to her, I believe she said it was an aunt's place, and done laundry. They didn't get home till 10 o'clock Wednesday night. So for all you people that are thinking that they had a big party on Wednesday night, at least early, they weren't home. So then going into Thursday, she said it was around 1 o'clock that they had left. She said, I don't know where they went in town. All she knows is that they went into town. She don't know what they bought. She was very, and some people would say, well, how would she not know? But she told us that she's very respectful of anything that happens within the trailer is Daniel and Malaya's, and she wouldn't comment on their interactions. As far as she knew, they were having a great relationship. But on Thursday, they went into town, they were shopping, they got home about 4 o'clock, and that was the last time that she seen them or heard them until the morning. When she said that she had heard them, then she went through the timeline with us about her brother's call.
Can you do that, Kent, if you can recall?
I can't, Sonny. Just, and not that I wouldn't want to, but I don't want to state, because I know the way that it'll run, because I'm not so naive to this true crime YouTube anymore. I'm beginning to learn that if you don't say when the stuff happened at the time the stuff happened, well, then you're no good as anybody else. So there was just too much information, but we do know she told us that she sent something to her brother, and then her brother called back at whatever time it was. And like I say, I'm not going to give timelines, and I don't want to run through the whole thing. When you see it on CBC, then you will get the actual times that she stated, because I don't want to speak for her.
Well,
But
there's a
she did.
timeline that already gets put out, so.
Yeah, well, like I said, it was at 9:48 sometime when she said that her brother called and missed a call. She called him back. They were talking for like 2.5 minutes.
48.
Yeah, and she says all that was about is, she said sometimes her brother calls her when he's going shopping at the malls on Friday for groceries and whatnot, to see if he wants her to or pick her up and her go too, or if she needs anything that he wants her to pick up. So that's what that discussion was about. But as far as running down through to give everybody the highlight by highlight by highlight timeline, I couldn't do it from memory, and I wouldn't do screenshots.
I was going to say, right, because I mean, I need to unpack all that information too. So yes,
Yeah.
There is a timeline. We'll go through it, because it's not like there's a lot more. There is more in a sense, but there's not like there's a lot more than kind of what's been out there, and it's just a matter of putting it into like a proper time. Yeah. So for all we know, this interview with Janie, kind of like Belinda, it came out like what, 10 days later or something like that. So I believe that this interview actually, will come out. Obviously, it's juice for the news. Of course it will. This will get him a ton of views in the news, regardless. So of course they're going to put it out. But so yeah, so it will be nice to hear it again. Charmaine, let's go to Charmaine now. Charmaine, anything that stood out to you that you wanted to talk about?
No, she doesn't think the kids are gone. She believes the kids are alive. She said that she would feel it Her intuition tells her that her step grandchildren are still alive. And there's a rumor that was going around that I never addressed on here, and I don't think anybody has addressed on here, that there is a video of Daniel and his brother removing that pink blanket from the garbage. She clarified that the RCMP actually asked them to show them the other bit of the blanket that was in the garbage. So the video that is out there was the RCMP asking Daniel to take that blanket out of the garbage. So that did happen, but it wasn't nefarious, and it wasn't before the blanket was found. It was because the blanket was found. The blanket was found on Lansdowne Road, not Lansdowne Station Road. That's also different. And yeah, that's really about all I would like to confirm. Like, if there are questions or whatever, I don't have a problem answering it, but I'm just not gonna, dig in my memory and try to regurgitate everything that was said, because a lot. She doesn't have any where the kids
Johnny,
are, but
Yeah.
what is that green? Is it green now? Or she says nothing Durwood said was true about Daniel or Janie.
Who said
That's
that?
not what we're saying. What I'm saying, I don't know what Dan or what Sonny and Charmaine would tell you, but what I'm telling you is when that interview of Janie comes out and you can hear it for yourself, then you can make the assumption of what you want to believe and what you don't want to believe. But this is what I said, that a lot of people might not want to believe, because we're being told similar or the same information without it being word for word. But we're getting, like I say, Janie is the ones that I think has tied to times as much as anybody else has.
Yeah.
If not more. So what I'm trying to say is, because everybody blames me for going and believing everything that Durwood said. No, I believe a lot of it, and I have to believe what he says if I want the children to come home, because I believe that's the only scenario that the kids are still alive. And what Janie told us today, in her words and in her information, I think everybody is going to be able to pick out the story. And that's why I say Malaya, other than the RCMP, is the one person that we have left to hear from.
Yeah.
The other thing that Janie said today is the kids are not in the woods. She said that when they go play in the woods, they go as far as them fort. She said that she had to carry Jack through the woods, and Jack had a me attitude, and if he didn't want to do something, he crossed his arms and stamped his feet and stood there until there were times that they were going for walks on the trails. She said she would have to go and grab his hand, and she'd have to be hollering at Lily to wait up for them, because Jack didn't want to walk by himself. He wanted to be holding Janie's hand or have Janie carry him. So that's the personality is what she was describing when she said that.
And Daniel Martell. Daniel, of course, honestly, we listened to your mom today. I know you were in chat there a little bit as well on there. Again, emotions mean a lot. It was truly heartbreaking listening to your, mother talk about, Jack and Lily. Again, people that didn't get to listen to this, there was quite a few messages, and you can tell it. And the reason why I can say you can tell it's authentic is because it's kind of like me. If I'm talking about my son and I know the hurt and the pain that is inside there, usually when I'm talking about my son, I well up with tears, right? I don't mean to. And that's kind of what happened with Janie when she was talking. She was talking, and then all of a sudden you can see that frustration coming out, saying like, You know, I cared about those kids. About Jack and Lily and all the things that how she looked after them and played with them in the yard and stuff like that. And you could just really feel those true raw emotions. So I want to say to Danielle and Janie, because she might be watching this too, is honestly, as a human being, first and foremost, thank you again for doing that, Janie. Thank you for using the mic. And that way we truly, instead of all this typing, we just got to hear your true emotions on there. My phone's dinging. But anyway, so we just want to say that from this channel to your mom, about just hearing a voice makes a huge difference. And that really truly made a huge difference today. Whether or not, again, this is you guys know you take everything still with a grain of salt regardless. We're just taking in information. You guys, again, don't get to hear it. You guys will get to hear Janie, of course, when the interview comes out. But anyways, so Daniel, he says the RCMP removed the blanket from the garbage. I made the call. I do want to say something a little bit to this with Daniel, because originally when he spoke to Charmaine, he talked about his mom napping and that he was calling the kids and that his mom came out of the camper. Now, I did notice that Janie kind of, went talked about that. And there was kind of and I'm just saying, according to Janie, when she was talking about that, because there's always certain things that stick out a lot. And, so of course I'll target those ones, and you guys might have other things that you guys target. But it kind of did go back to what Daniel had said when you listen to how Janie was talking about the timeline. But again, I need to absorb it all. I need to listen to it all again and put it in perspective. Like I said, I was working. I couldn't listen to every single message. I listened to quite a few. But anyway, so I just really need to absorb all that information. And again, Daniel, whatever you want to say in here, feel free. If you want to answer stuff, okay. If you don't, perfectly fine as well. I'm glad that Lana and Brie, though, truly they did it right. They did it right. Just like yourself, when you get asked 50 questions all at the same time, from everyone wanting answers, it gets overwhelming. But Lana and Brie did it right. They gave Janie a place to feel safe and to feel heard without being attacked. And that's the way it had to be. We weren't there to attack. We were just there to ask Janie a question. And then Lana or Brie would put it out. And then Janie would answer it. And lots of times, like Ken said, she would
Sunny,
just keep. What?
can you please check your messenger? Lana sent you something to share. Please.
Oh, okay.
And also, Charmaine, going to why Sonny's doing that? Blue Rose Rumblings is saying that the RCMP raised the reward. Did they raise the award from 150,000? Because if you're talking about the 150,000, Blue Rose, that's not the RCMP. That is the province of Nova Scotia for their what they deem to be long-running or cold cases, and ones that maybe a reward will constitute information being brought to light. So the RCMP requested it, but it's a department of the government of the province of Nova Scotia, and there is several cases on those books right now that have that reward up to 150,000. So I haven't heard anything today that the RCMP raised the reward amount. I don't think. And I just wanted to clarify that.
No, it's Crime Stoppers, and no, not that the RCMP have released. So
It will help with the timeline. Thanks, Alana. Thank you so much. So, again, Cindy Murray, May 2nd at 11:33 a.m. Missed call back, park on the side of the road. And then it says, Cindy, I'm on my way now. So that's at 12:01. Okay. Video call, 2 minutes and 51 seconds. I don't know who this conversation is with. To this one, Alana, or do we not need to know? It's just more of a timeline thing. Anyway, so she's on a video call, maybe with Malaya, perhaps, right? 12, maybe this, I guess this is probably with Malaya and her mom. Is that what this is? Yeah, 12:24 p.m. Send Amber Alert. Tell the police to send out an Amber Alert.
It didn't meet the criteria.
Right.
Well, I think the point is that whoever this conversation is with is the thought that these guys were in cahoots to get the kids out of there, or that Malaya was trying to get the kids out of there, or that Cindy was in on it. Maybe, Lana, you can correct me if I'm wrong. That's the point I see of this. Like, it's clear from this
That Cindy didn't know.
Unless it was staged, that Cindy wanted an Amber Alert. She thought the kids were missing. She wasn't assisting Malaya in taking these kids away from Daniel, the stepdad.
Exactly. I would say that too, Charmaine.
And I just want to go back to the beginning of this live, because Daniel's in here, and everybody's kind of making a deal out of the speculation or confirmed information, whatever, that Daniel may be or may not be seeing someone else at this point. A lot of people are going back and talking about the message that when I had asked Daniel, is there anything, if Malaya is watching, is there any message that you want to convey to her? And he did this whole thing about the, waterfall. That was like week 3, you guys. I mean, like I said, if Daniel has another girlfriend, or if he's seeing somebody else, life does move on. And I don't think that there's a story there. I don't, and to say, are you worried about your children being around Daniel? I don't even know if that's something that should be discussed on this. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's a bit, it's taking away from the information that he has about Jack and Lily. I don't give a shit who he's seeing or what she thinks about this. Like, and why are we muddying those waters?
I was going to say, again, kind of like what I said on that live after it. Is it a good look? No, absolutely not. If it's true. Well, I mean, according to Darren, it's true, whatever. Who cares? At the end of the day, Daniel's a big boy. He makes his own decisions, right? Again, those are his choices. But that part to me, like I said, it's kind of to the drama side of things, because regardless how we feel or anyone feels, I honestly, I don't really give a shit, actually, truly, what Daniel's doing with his side time. Jack and Lily will always be the focus. So that's why that one to me is not going to be this elongated talk about it. I would have to care enough, and I just don't, right? So if he is seeing someone, his choice, his call, whatever people feel about. But it's nothing that's going to talk about bringing Jack and Lily answers.
It's not newsworthy information.
It's like a mention to me. Okay, right, we heard it. Okay, Darren said it, it's true or whatever, however the situation is. But it's not something I'm going to sit there and hold on to, because I literally, just don't give a fuck, to be honest with you, because that's just side noise. That's just really,
and there's absolutely
side noise.
There's absolutely no, I mean, we don't even know for sure that this woman or whatever, if she exists or not, like, who cares? But even if she had kids, there's no information. It's not like Daniel is a convicted SO, or, that we've got some concrete evidence that we should be so worried about this girl's children. Or like, it doesn't make sense to me. Can we just forget about what he does in his personal time and get back to
Well,
focusing
Jack and Lily.
on
I was
drunk.
gonna say, it's one of those things that's like, okay, if it's true, I mean, it's not a good look, regardless. It's true. It's not my life to lead. It's Daniel's life to lead. I don't, and I honestly, that part I don't care about Daniel's life. Whatever he wants to do, if he wants to go and swoop underneath a waterfall and stuff like that again, I don't care. Let him. All I want to know is the truth about Jack and Lily and what happened. And the more that stuff, like I said, it was never like, oh, let me hate on Daniel, let me hate on Malaya. No, the bottom line is bullshit. There's answer, there's truth here of what's going on. It will come out eventually, but it wasn't so much to ask for a timeline. That was it. Just a timeline, right? No one had to go into all these, deep in depth things, really. It was just a timeline. Okay, from the night before, when they got off the bus, they had dinner around 6 o'clock, went to bed, say at 9 o'clock. Me and Malaya, went down to lay down with Meadow at this time. It was never such a big thing, so I thought. It ended up turning into this big escapade, and it just never needed to go there. And again, it's sad that Janie or Daniel, to be honest with you, Daniel's been talking in interviews. I get it, but it's sad because again, when there's true emotion behind something, and so Janie, then people can connect, people can relate to emotion, because most people understand, like I was saying earlier, is that when you were speaking and then your emotions, your thing makes the weirdest noises, by the way, Kent. But when you're speaking from your heart with true emotions, they just naturally come out during a conversation. And that's what I felt, and a lot of us felt when we listened to that on there. So but it's too bad, because right now we're at 2 months, 11 days now, and the thing is, there's still no answers. And honestly, the side noise, whatever, okay. If you get charged, if Malaya gets charged, if you both get charged, nobody gets charged. What happened to Jack and Lily? Why, if they're still out there living, like Charmaine said earlier, like, why is nobody, I know Jenny answered this in the private chat, but why is nobody putting out all these posters besides people like Alana and people that aren't part of the family putting out posters? If they're still alive, why is this not happening?
And Janie did answer my question in that chat, but even her answer was like, I was just given these missing posters or whatever. She just hasn't had time, just going to go to it, and that's fine. But we're over 2 months in. My question was more about, so once you guys figured out that the kids were taken and hidden or whatever, since then, maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't seen anything on anybody's Facebook or social media or any platform asking us to share these posters and keep the faces out there, or screaming from the rooftops. My kids are out there somewhere. My grandkids are out there somewhere. Share these pictures. Like Belinda's been out there. Keep their names out there. Share these missing persons photos. But we haven't seen that. And
It's all coming from the outside in rather than the inside out.
That's a good way of putting it, Ken. Great way
And
of putting it.
as big as this family, with 3 families involved, being the Martell Mackenzies, Malaya's, the Murray side, and the Brooks side, I'm telling you, folks, they got an army of their own. But it's coming from the outside in rather than the inside out. And today I feel we got another piece from the inside. And like one of the, and I laugh at it, but I was also crying during. Janie was telling us a story about Jack being in the backyard and picking up a board and finding worms and a centipede. So, anyways, time was going by and he was putting them in the bucket and whatnot. Daniel distracted Jack by however he was talking to him. Janie said that she had taken the centipede. Daniel said to him, Jack, you'll have to dump the centipede out of the jar, because if you don't, the centipede will die. And he said, no, I'm not letting them go. These are my friends. So in the distraction of Daniel talking to Jack, Janie said that she had dumped out the centipede and kept the worms because they usually feed the worms to the chickens. And Janie said to Lily, let's go feed some worms to the chickens.
I know. I wish I could play
And
this clip. It was so good.
Sonny Jack said, no, you're not eating my friends. And then he looked in the thing and the centipede was gone. Well, he got peeved off big time at Janie because he thought Janie already fed the centipede to her chickens. So that just gives you a little bit of character of what Jack is like and whatnot. And
Yeah.
it,
You know what?
it makes a difference when you hear it.
I was gonna. You know what? That's what I was gonna say. So Janie, if you are watching, right? I don't want to play your whole life thing, but there was that clip was so. I mean, you sat there and you put a big smiley face to it or whatever laughing thing to it, and it's stuff like that, that makes a difference when you're literally like you guys didn't get to hear this, right? But I want you guys to do this, but I can't play it unless of course Janie gives the approval of that, but anyways, it was such a cute story talking about Lily and Jack on there. Yeah, and then you literally hear, when Janie's talking, and then like I said, that little bit of, when somebody, it comes to your memory and you can't help but give a little chuckle because obviously it's all welling up in the head, right? And you're remembering that moment that Lily's in the kitchen, or Jack's you're playing with the, what do you say, cricket or whatever, caterpillar. And it's just like, again, it's different when you hear it. It makes a huge difference. So you telling it, Kent, you did a great job, but no offense to you, it's different from when you literally heard it from Janie as a.
Oh, it does, yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
And one sec, I'll show something in a second as well. If I miss it, okay. If I miss something in chat, okay, that's really important. Okay, like if Daniel's left a message and I'm missing it or something like that, just use your little stop signs, or Daniel, use your stop signs, because honestly, it's really hard to sometimes run a live, plus see the messages out there.
I'm watching.
Again.
I'll put them up. I'll put
Okay.
them up.
Oh, I was gonna say, Charmaine has the power. I didn't make her just admin, I made her co-host. So Charmaine has the same power as I do. That's why when you got muted, Kent, that was making me laugh so hard. Okay, give me a second there on that one, Lana. And I'll put that up in a minute. That's a good one, Lana. Okay. On there. Go ahead, you guys. You guys keep talking. Come on. There's lots of stuff that was said. What else? What else sticks out?
Well, I just don't want to hog the time from Charmaine. She can remember as much as I can, probably.
Well, take turns going back and forth. Go ahead. You guys are good. I'm busy over here.
No, I got nothing to say. Kent, it's all yours.
Kent, go ahead.
Well, like I say, it was just the only thing that I can say bad, if you want to say bad, about today is that I wished it would have happened at the same time, roughly, when Belinda came out to this channel. Because I'm telling you, all right, here's another story. And I hate telling the stories because I don't know if I'm even Lana in them off. I'm not breaking the rule by showing screenshots or what, but we are telling what we heard. Now, it's secondhand, so believe it or not. But the other story that I will tell, unless Lana says stop once I start telling it here, is remember how Belinda had said that when she went down on the day of the search, that Cindy was, or not Cindy, but Janie was there sitting on the step with, I believe it was her daughter, we were told. And she was there crying, and Belinda had questioned that and it was about leading into about going in and searching the RV. Now, I can tell you that Janie did tell us they searched the RV 3 times within 2 days. One time on top of that was a ground search and rescue person, but the RCMP officers twice on the first day and then once on the Saturday. But going back to what I was starting to say, if I can remember it all correctly, frig, I wish. But she was talking about how Belinda wasn't in the children's lives for the last 19 months or whatever, as Belinda has stated. And she questioned why didn't Belinda use the courts, because she said it wasn't her son that wasn't keeping, or that was keeping them away from going to see Belinda, that it was Malaya and her side of it. And she said, and this is one of the times when she really started bawling her eyeballs out, and I started crying, is she said, my other 2 grandkids, it was the oldest girl's birthday on the 25th of this month, and I couldn't see them because we're all under these orders that, and she said, that's why I'm going to court to see because she said, I love my grandkids, and she said, these might not be blood, but I'll tell you, we treated them all the same. And I couldn't see my oldest grandchild on her birthday on the 25th of July because of these orders. And that was it. She broke.
Is it the 25th or the 27th?
Well, see, that's what I hate about saying dates. Anyways, it was late July or June, I guess it would be, because we're not there in July yet. But it was late in the month of when, and this is Daniel's oldest girl by Christy. And she said, I couldn't see my grandchild because of what's happened on her birthday. And that's when she broke down, and that's when she started crying. And that's when I started filling up. And like, you could just tell the woman, it was weighing on her heart. And like I say, yes, originally we started out sending questions to Lana and Bree, and they were asking her one at a time. And it might take 5 minutes to get an answer. I'm just telling you how it went down. And because they didn't want her to feel pressured or anything, they wanted her to be able to think and answer in her own time. So we must have been on there, I would say it must have been a half an hour, or maybe even an hour, answering questions like that. Everybody was sending them through.
Oh, it was June 25th. June 25th.
Okay. And then
both of us.
So then they went and now, Sonny, what was I talking about?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Charmaine, tell him what he was talking about, because I wasn't listening to him. He was talking about something. I was too busy focused on that fact that I was actually wrong.
Yeah, I wasn't listening either.
Shit, you guys, what was Kent talking about? Come on. You know how this goes. Kent, come on, you guys. What was Kent talking about? Let's go. Obviously, me and Charmaine.
So the setup. So we were going on for about 45 minutes that way. And then Lana said to her, well, if it's easier, because she said her hands were getting cramped from typing, and she didn't want to speak to text because Sonny knows and I know, Gemini and Surrey don't understand us, either one of us. You got to read between the lines and guess what we're saying sometimes for speak to text.
Yeah, and I'm too lazy.
As you guys can attest, and sometimes in my comments, because if I'm in the chat, sometimes I will speak to text because my fingers aren't going to type. I would only type one comment a night. So anyways, we get down and they showed her, they said, well, if you press this button on the screen, they took a screenshot. If you press this button, you can just, and I think Janie thought it was speak to text. And she said, because she talked about editing it before she sent.
Yeah.
And they said, no, just use this, and
Voice.
whatever you say,
Yeah.
that's what'll get sent.
Oh, yeah,
And
100%.
that's when she popped on and started doing the voice recordings. Well, like I say, we didn't even have to ask questions then. She was just coming right after bat, after bat, after bat.
Yeah. You know what pissed me off about that? Because whenever there was, so like I said, I was in the midst of working when it all started. So I kept, this was pissing me off because I kept hitting forward to myself, right? So that everything was just lined up. And I had to keep typing my stupid name every time in my own damn messenger. I'm like, how come my name's like not right there? So I kept having to type SUN just for my name to come up for every time that there was a voice clip. And I was like, you're pissing me off, messenger. But anyways, but you guys have no idea. Like, we're talking like,
So Lana says it was even longer than an hour because she had to run out to the hospital for a minute and let Bree start handling all the comments on herself. And so she says it was more longer than that.
it was
even
hours.
Yeah.
I would at least say a total of at least a good 3 hours or so total. Because every time I thought she was done,
and then she had to compose herself when she broke down there when she was talking about the oldest granddaughter's birthday. She did leave for about 5 or 10 minutes and gather herself up, and then she come back again.
Yeah.
And started at it again. And then now I want to tell you how silly and manipulative some people are, because in that break, and then when she was done for the day talking, because she told us everything she knew. People over in the unauthorized, uncensored chat, just one of the regular Facebook groups, started calling Alana and Bree down for the way that they were asking the questions. And they were saying, well, you wouldn't let anybody else talk. You guys were the ones asking the questions. Just because they weren't there at the beginning and realized that it was everybody that wanted to answer or have a question answered. We were shooting them off to Bree and or Alana until Alana left and then come back for them to answer. And that was only to control the speed so that she would have a chance, because she didn't want to be bombarded by 20 questions at once. But yet everybody in the other chat was calling Lana and them down for that. And like, what are you supposed to do, people? Just because you weren't involved. And then they were saying, well, how do we get into that chat?
Jealousy.
Like, crazy.
It's just jealousy because they're pissed.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, it is what it is, okay? Again, it's not a right for us to have all this information. It's only with the people willing to talk. And if they wanted to do it in a private group setting, and myself being, a Jack and Lily all day long, lives for Jack and Lily, and I've got to know Lana. She's a great person. Whoever else is in there, Charmaine, Kent, Belinda, Cindy, a lot of people were in there. The ones, a lot of people that really, I've put a lot of dedication into this case. It wasn't for everybody, because imagine if it was, like, imagine if it was in the group, meaning the open one, there would be, like, there was a couple times people interjected when Lana and Bree asked people not to say anything. Like, they weren't right. It was just supposed to be Lana or Bree. And then a couple times, and then there's someone actually got really rude and freaking was just freaking rude, whatever. Lana gave her the boot. She deserved it too. I mean, you literally have the mother talking, right, of Daniel. And this chick was so freaking rude. She deserved the boot. She was being so disrespectful to Alana. But anyways, again, right, it's one of those things. Some of this, like the information, we're not entitled to it, because at the end of the day, nobody had to say anything to us at all, including Belinda. Nobody had to say nothing,
And just imagine what we would be talking about if
Wait, wait,
Daniel didn't talk in different chat rooms, if Belinda didn't
or
talk to
Darren,
Sonny, if the other ones didn't talk on TikTok,
yeah,
like just imagine what we would be here talking about. The same thing day after day. Like one
right,
thing I want to
exactly.
say is uh Janie has no idea where the kids at. She couldn't tell us that. She said that if she knew where the kids were at, she would be going there and getting them. The other thing is she said if the people that have the kids wants to bring them back and drop them off at her driveway, the dog will let her know that there's people in her driveway. She will go out and get the kids without asking any questions. So it's not that Janie took them. It's not that Janie knows where they're at. She wasn't able to answer those questions for us because she doesn't know.
Can I just say what a fucked up case this is? Like, and if I'm gonna be just blunt, it really truly is. It really is, right? It's really wackadoodle. Like, I mean, and even with Daniel there too, dude. Like, shit, I'll be a fucking monkey's uncle. Sorry to swear, but I'll be a monkey's uncle because uh, it's because I always go with my gut feeling right away. And if it turns out that Daniel was truthful this whole time, and I have to lick my own ass out of this one because I was so wrong on that. But because I'm telling you, this case, I'm not kidding. Okay, so Jack and Lily first and foremost, okay? But if we're talking about Malaya and Daniel, this thing's like a swinging pendulum, honestly. Whenever you hear information, then you're just like, woo to Malaya, woo back to Daniel, woo to Malaya. That's how it feels to me. It's so freaking crazy. And it shouldn't be crazy. Again, it's two children. So why is this so hard? Right? Because the children are somewhere. Something happened to them, you know, and it really boils down to the truest timeline. Now, as you guys can see, thank you, Alana. My bad, I got off track there. This is the outgoing call, right? This was the outgoing 911 call, 9 minutes and 45 seconds at 10:01 a.m. So when Daniel said Malaya was lying about 10 o'clock, what he meant to say, it was 10:01. So obviously, this is the outgoing call tonight. Is 10:01 a.m. So just saying. Thank you, Alana. Thank you to whoever family members have sent this stuff because it truly does help, right? At the end of the day, again, we're not somebody's judge and jury. Whoever had anything to do with the children's disappearance, again, that's between, in a sense, that's going to be between their guilt inside and their guilty knowledge, and like meaning they'll have to live with that feeling of knowing. I don't. I can only keep bringing awareness to Jack and Lily and pray that answers come for these beautiful children, you know. And like you said, Kent, no matter what we say, I pray. I pray for the crazy wackadoodle thing that these kids have been hidden somewhere. It's not realistic. It really isn't. But I mean, we've seen really wacky cases like all you have to do is know the Vallow case, the Lori Vallow case. That one right there, when you start inserting zombies and stuff like that, and Canadians would make fun of the whole American zombie thing, to be honest with you. It was like, what do you mean you're building bunkers when you guys have a zombie? Well, that case is truly that wackadoodle like that. And they took the lives of their own, like her own children, right? Like, it's crazy. You guys don't know the Vallow case. It's, you guys want a freaking nightmare of a case, have bad dreams about it. There's a case to freaking know about. But anyways,
Nova Scotia Blue Noser, Darren. Darren has said in the past, and that's one of the things that I can tell you that he tells me anyway, that he wish he could take back. It's not the fact that he knows where the kids are. He said that's in speculation several times that he believed that they're on the reserve and or with Malaya's family. I don't believe they're on the reserve. I honestly don't believe that part. With Malaya's family, yes. And when he said the night that he told us that he was 1000% sure the kids are alive, if he was ever to come back on, because I don't know if he will now, just because he feels Sonny is being hard on Daniel, but that's just because we're asking the hard questions. We're not getting the truth. Darren told me that he's 1000% sure the kids were alive when they left the property. Beyond that, he said, Kent, he said, I still believe that they're alive. And I said, yeah. I said, anybody who wants to bring Jack and Lily home, for whatever your motives and reason are, if you want these kids to come back, you sort of have to lean and hope that story is somewhat true, because we definitely know that if they're in the woods, or if they were in the woods, they wouldn't be alive now. It's been too long. And if something else nefarious happened, then they're not alive no more. So the only hope and faith that we have that these children may come back one day and still be alive and live the rest of their lives is if the scenario of them being sent off the property is somewhat true.
Now, I can't remember if Daniel's answered this. And Daniel, does he firmly believe that these children are alive somewhere?
I don't know if he's ever stated. Well, he believes that they're not in the woods. I don't know if he's ever come out firmly and states that he believes they're still alive. Maybe if he's still here, he'll make that statement.
He is here, and I'm pretty sure Sonny was posing the question to him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a question, Daniel. Do you believe the children are alive? Do you truthfully, from your heart, believe that Jack and Lily are out there still? If you don't want to say, you don't have to. Just asking for a friend. This friend. It would honestly, it would be a blessing and a miracle. Trust me. I would want nothing more than Belinda and the people that love Lily and Jack to be able to see these beautiful babies again. I get so angry when it comes to children cases, and we'll call it duckery on there and stuff like that. It's just, they're beautiful. They're innocent. And yeah, so, right. Alana sent me this, you guys. And that came from the Malaya Brooke side of the family to show, right? Because it's kind of being one of these things a little bit like over here, there's this information, and mostly over here is the Martell information. But again, just
there's Daniel's answer.
I think they are alive at the location. Okay, fair enough, Daniel. Because obviously, if you knew where they were, you'd go grab their asses back, right, and bring them over, back home and stuff like that. So, fair enough. It's just how, Daniel, being in true crime, right? It's just the likelihood of this is so slim. It's not implausible. It's not impossible. But it's just when you're in true crime and you spend all these years watching hundreds of stories, that likelihood isn't there.
Joji Berry, I beg to differ with you on that one, that the RCMP believe that they're not alive, because, and I'll state two facts. One, if they believed that they were dead, they would bring in cadaver dogs and track the dead.
And that could be very true.
And
could be very right on that.
And two, at the end of the search, when they were calling off the search, if you go back and listen to the sergeants speak, they said they believe that if they were still in the woods,
They wouldn't be
they likely believe that they're unlikely to survive. That's the only comments that I've ever seen or heard from the RCMP stating death or still alive.
Ken, I want to go back to that, and I want to know what you guys think, because so we follow, like I said, tons of cases, right? It is absolutely normal for a cadaver dog to be brought in regardless within the first day or two, right? Because that's, of course, it's a normal thing. It happens all the time. That's the way it's done. So Ken, there is that piece of me when you talk about cadaver dogs and that they didn't use cadaver dogs. Is that because they knew that they didn't need to, right?
Well,
Because
that's what I'm
can't-
questioning.
I know you are, but that's why I can't understand, because in any case when there's missing children, just like Sebastian Rogers, it's a normal thing that cadaver dogs, I don't care if there's one in the whole thing, but there's cadaver dogs that I give you one, whoever is becoming a member.
And Tammy Burke says there that cadaver dogs was brung in. I've never seen that statement. Anything that I've seen from the RCMP, they said that always could be one of the next steps. But the dogs that we know that were on site were tracking and scent dogs. That's why they got the scent of the kids to the end of the driveway, because it was most strong, because they walked there every day of the week back and forth to the school bus stop. And Mama Angie, they said the likelihood of them being still alive if they were in the woods is very low. Not that any other scenario, because they haven't talked about it. So, like, that's where the dog stuff, like I said, I made a statement on here a couple of weeks ago, and I said maybe they were waiting for a time for the dogs to come in to get sent. Well, that's not true. Michelle After Dark, who's done plenty of videos on dogs, corrected myself, because like I say, it wasn't something that I had known, but I corrected myself on Sunny's live the next time we went live, and we have no official confirmation that cadaver dogs have been used yet. And you can speculate to the reason why if they have other evidence pointing them in another direction.
Maybe. But I
It's
want
the
to say
same
something.
if somebody was stabbed. They're not going to be out on the street looking for bullets. They're going to be looking for knife people.
Okay.
Can I answer something really quickly that I saw in chat?
Yeah.
And I thank you. I can't find it right now, but there was something about, did Malia grab or get the birth certificates and passports? We know there were rumors about birth certificates, and that's fine, but let me assure you, if birth certificates were issued after the kids went missing, the police would know that.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Or passport.
Wait, my turn. I need to ask something now, and this is a direct hit, Daniel, for you. Okay, so please, again, if you can answer just truthfully on this one. So, our thing still is this, though. So, if the children are out there, right, and you believe that they're alive, why isn't there all these posters and family going around and hanging up all these posters? Alana came to your area. You know, she was supposed to meet up with Darren, and she had messaged you, and you guys avoided her like the plague, it seemed like, right? And so she was out there doing everything for Lily and Jack. So I'm just asking you a direct hit here, if you could answer, right? Just an honest question. That, again, Alana is out there, you know, making bracelets for Lily and Jack and Bree and that, and all these people that are involved in all this fundraising, you know, for Lily and Jack, whether it's buddy benches or money that goes to them if they're alive. So why are you avoiding, you know, like you should be joining in with us, right? In this plight. It should be a group effort then, because you can have tons of people surrounding you, right? But why? So why aren't these posters not being out? Why is it strangers are doing this? That's what I kind of want. I know Janie said that she recently got some posters, car issues and whatever, but I'm just asking a direct hit on this one, because if anything, you should be working then with us, not against us, that way when it comes to the fight for Jack and Lily, and be a voice. Be a voice, but if you don't want to like literally sit on somebody's channel, then just be a voice for the fundraiser for Jack and Lily. The posters, the bracelets, all that stuff. I'm just asking. Okay. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm just
he
yeah. Go
found
ahead.
a stapler. He found a stapler today to put up posters, and he's wearing the bracelets right now. So,
Who is Daniel?
well, read the screen. I just highlighted it.
Oh, sorry. Well, I guess I took it off. Hey, got me some toot over up there. That's because you're sitting higher than me on there. But no, where's the post? I only seen I seen something, so I must have clicked off of it. Anyways, bottom line is, again,
Right there, it's on there.
I already answered this one. I found my okay, no. But that's not really the question so much as like, for the posters, but meaning
The rest of the family.
the
Like
rest of
her.
Alana was out there. She was supposed to meet up with Darren. Darren avoided her. He did. Okay, and same with Daniel, and same with Malay and everybody else. But what I'm saying is this: why? Like, we're doing all this for Lily and Jack, so why would you not want to be part of this then, right? Why would you not want to meet up with Lana? Hey, Lana, yeah, absolutely. Give my family some posters. We'll go hang them. I that doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to kind of go against the grain of looking for, if the children are alive, it only makes sense that everyone teams up and freaking splashes. It shouldn't be strangers. Like, we'll help you, but it shouldn't be strangers doing more than family. It shouldn't be.
And
Just
that's
saying.
the fact until today, when Janie spoke. Every question that we had is, other than Daniel, no one was speaking until Logan spoke a little bit, and then they seemed to be Haley and the other one, Christine. Once they seen Daniel's side of the family getting on these channels and talking a little bit, then they felt, and I don't know if they felt that they had to come on and try to defend Malaya a little bit because Malaya wasn't, or if Malaya is not, because what's the one question or one statement, and in the mothers, of all the mothers in the chat, and you can refer to the fathers too, but in this case, we're not dealing with a father, we're dealing with a stepdad. There's a little bit of a difference. In my mind, not a lot. If you're raising children, you're doing it together. But as a mother, if your kids are missing, lost, harmed, or whatever, what is going to be your normal reaction? You're going to plead for the safe return. If they're lost, you're going to be pleading for them to be found. And, like, as a result, the only reason why you wouldn't be in that situation is if you had knowledge on the other side. Don't matter which way it went. One, if they were harmed and they're no longer with us, or two, you had something to do with it yourself and you know where they're at. That's the only thing that explains Malaya's silence. In my
Okay.
mind, I like it's illogical for anybody not to be pleading for these two kids to either be found or returned. Am I wrong in thinking that?
Nope. Nope.
And like I never knew these kids before. I never knew Daniel and them before the May 2nd. So if I feel that way, how can the rest of her family feel that way? And one other thing that I'll tell you that I found out today, and yes, it's from Darren. Remember how everybody was saying that Malaya's grandmother was at the house and wanted to stay at the house until the kids were found? She stated, even though Cindy and Malaya frigged off, Malaya's grandmother was still at the trailer, and she was planning on staying at the trailer again Saturday night, as she did Friday night. And the only reason why she left, and it wasn't necessarily because she was forced, but the only reason why that she left was Malaya, or not Malaya, Haley and her boyfriend came in and basically said, "You're coming with us." It wasn't that they picked her up and carried her away, no. But she was planning on staying on the property a second night and wanted to stay there. When the statement that she had made, that everybody says, is that she made the statement, "I'm not leaving this property till my grandchildren are found." But
I mean,
a
Belinda,
short time later, they came and said something to her, and the way they went.
Ken, Belinda asks a good question. If they believe them to be alive, why did Daniel ask for cadaver dogs? And I'm sorry, but I do have to say this. And again, Daniel, just throwing it out there. It's been 2 months, obviously, and 11 days. Just to say that you got a stapler and some posters recently, no, that's not good enough. It isn't. These children have been missing for 2 months and literally 11 days. That's what I don't get. If they're alive and you knew this, right?
Or
That,
suspect
that
this.
that is not an answer. I'm sorry. It might be your answer, but it's not an answer. I do have to say that, okay?
Yep.
I'm not here. I'm not here to kiss Daniel's ass. I don't really care that way. But at the end of the day, the truth matters. But to sit there and say that you just literally got posters after 2 months and 11 days, come on, please, Daniel. Seriously, Daniel, come on now, right? If the children are alive and out there, right? It's beyond repair to think that my child would be out there for 2 months. And I thought, you know what? Let me just get off my tough after 2 months.
He thinks you're trying to spin everything or pin everything on him. He's got a comment there,
I'm
Sonny.
not trying to pin everything on you. You're the only one talking out of everybody. But when you say stupid shit like that, I mean, what is people supposed to think, to be honest with you? Again, you've had multiple opportunities to correct stuff, all you wanted. You don't have to be in this chat. You don't have to be at all. But at the bottom of the line is, again, I'm not here for you. Okay, whatever happens to you or doesn't happen to you, Daniel, right? Again, that's from your lips to God's ears and your knowledge, whatever it is. Okay, it's not about trying to pin it on Daniel because I think that Daniel did everything. I literally look at everything from Malaya's side, Daniel's side. Daniel, something happened to Jack and Lily, right? Don't make it about yourself, please. This is about Jack and Lily. It's not me trying to pin it on you. But you don't sit there and tell a chat that you just got a stapler and got some posters 2 months and 11 days after the children disappeared and you think they're alive. And then, like Belinda says, well, why would you ask for cadaver? These are just straight up questions, okay? I'm not trying to come hard at you. Well, no, I kind of am. If Malaya was in front of me, I'd come hard at her too because it's bullshit. It's bullshit that 2 months and 11 days later, that it's taken this long to get some sort of a decent timeline. It should have been easy. These are children, right? It's not about any adult in here. Whatever happens to them happens, but this is about Jack and Lily.
Yeah,
That's
Belinda, I don't know why
that's
Daniel would ask for cadaver dogs if he believes that they're still alive. Um, all I can say is, like, myself, when asking for dogs and whatever,
thanks, Joe.
I thought they were all the same myself at first. I didn't know that there was a specialty for scent tracking. Well, I knew drug dogs were different because I watched that on TV, but you don't see, or I don't see programs, the crime shows, like they do a lot of forensic work, but I don't see them doing stuff with the different types of dogs. So I don't think it would be fair for me to answer why Daniel thinks that they're still alive, but then ask for cadaver dogs. That would be something that he would have to answer. And I'm sure if he was in a chat like his mom did today, that would be one of the things that he could clear up with a straight answer.
That's good enough.
And when you're in a chat room, I feel it's the same way as his mother said today, that you're dealing with a whole bunch of either questions or comments or statements being made by everybody in chat, and you're trying to keep up reading them, and then you say something and you contradict yourself. So I think the best thing for Daniel to do, myself, is maybe get in touch with Bree and Alana and see if they want. I know they said they're willing, but to see if he's willing. And he's not going to have to answer any questions that he doesn't want to. In today's chat, Janie was said that if you do have something that you don't want to talk about, or you don't want to answer the question, just type pass and we move on to the next one. But I think something like that with Daniel would be great. And then, boy, oh boy, every channel out there better start asking the question in their thumbnails. Where's Malaya? We heard from the stepfather. We've heard from the step-grandmother. We've heard from the grandmother. Where is the other grandmother in Malaya's mother, Cindy? Because we haven't heard anything from her. And she might not be able to give us any facts up to the point of when they went missing. But I'm sure she has information that people would want to know after everything that happened. And Malaya herself. And it's those
That's
two
not
people and the RCMP.
That's not a true statement. Cadaver dogs are not the last step. That's not true.
What?
Daniel said that cadaver dogs are the last step. That's not true.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Like,
That's not true. I mean, at the end of the day, thank you guys. You know what? I still, you know what? Let's get back on track here. There's 878 people in this live tonight. Thank you guys all for your care for Jack and Lily. Thank you guys for being here. Please, we ask that you hit the like and share, not forever the sake of the channel. Like I always say, please hit it for Jack and Lily. And anyone that wants to take away from that, then you don't belong here. Meaning when I say that, for people that sit there and try to take away from Jack and Lily or try to put this channel down and say it's focused elsewhere, again, kiss my ass on that stuff, okay? Every day I sit there and try to do a live almost every day after I work, whenever I can do it. And this is about Lily and Jack, right? If Daniel wants to speak in chat, so be it, right? You know, I don't know what that comment meant, though, where he said, stop spinning it. And then he said, Malaya has done nothing. Did he mean that, like, as if I'm not thinking that Malaya has done anything? Is that, or was he meaning that Malaya has done nothing? That she's innocent?
I think he's just stating the fact that Malaya has done nothing. although he might not have done much with the posters and stuff yet, I think he's saying that Malaya
Oh.
has done nothing.
Oh no, don't get me wrong, Daniel. You know, Malaya's this whole shit with Malaya is absolutely sus beyond belief. Absolutely, right? But the thing is, honestly, how many times have we talked about this with Malaya too? Right? I mean, you're obviously an easier target because you keep, putting inconsistencies out there, right? Even though you're talking, you just need to get your story straight. That's your problem. And you just need to tell the truth. Like your mom, Janie, when she was in there, right? She was speaking her truth. And you could hear her vocally, and it came across. You should do the same with Lana and Brie. Do the same thing, right? Well, hold on. Lana, Brie, me, Charmaine, Kent. Who else? No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, you know what I'm saying, right? So it's not, this isn't a Daniel Malaya thing like this, right? It's just listening to the information for what it is. And when you keep putting out misinformation or lies, however you want to deem that, bottom line is, if you can't keep your story straight, what do you think people are supposed to think, right? A story should be consistent. It shouldn't be made up of that you came out of the woods and Malaya called 911 and then you say a different version. That's either that you forgot what you said or it's an out and outright lie. Now, Darren said that you lied, right? Because of that you were trying to protect Malaya. Darren also said that you lied about the blanket, right? Because you didn't want people thinking that some sort of, planting evidence against you. Just keep it real, keep the story straight, get your ass out there with posters, and if they're so alive, and take your whole family with you, and go down everywhere and plast posters everywhere, and we'll stand right behind you, sitting there plasting posters all over the place, right? Like with Lana's group there. I'm Western Canada. Can we plast posters out here? Hey, trust me. Well, I mean, I guess they could be out here. I guess if we're going with that theory, whatever. But the bottom line is, pardon?
Daniel has just said he's not protecting Malaya, and I've been saying it for weeks. He's not protecting Malaya. He's not protecting Malaya.
And
that's the storyline. That's why all of this is happening, because Daniel lied to protect Malaya.
In the beginning.
Malaya.
Well, again, whether Daniel has a girlfriend or not, honestly, who gives a shit? That's Daniel's life to lead and whatever. I mean, obviously, during 2 missing children cases and stuff like that, might not be the most beneficial thing to be doing, but whatever. It's his choice, his life. He's an adult. He can do what he wants. At the end of the day, again, Jack and Lily, if they're alive out there, posters should be splattered everywhere, and you should be backing all this up, right? It's not about sitting there thinking, oh, Daniel did everything wrong, and Malaya is so perfect over there. Bullshit. Both of you guys, Malaya and Daniel, the children are underneath your supervision. These children are missing because of both of you. Simple as that. That's still the bottom line of this all, is that they were underneath your care to watch. Nobody else's, not Janie's, nobody else's. And these children are missing underneath the care. If you feel like Malaya sneakily did something with the children and that you're not at fault, doesn't matter. You still and Malaya are the ones that were in charge of these children, right? I mean, shit happens. I get it, right? But they're not in the woods. Don't believe so either. They're not stranger abducted. Don't believe that either. So who does that leave? Who does that leave? Family on the property, right? So if it's this wild story about Malaya, so be it. She doesn't do herself any favors by how she's portraying through all this at all. But don't just think I'm sitting there going, oh, let me just keep going on, Daniel. You're speaking a lot, Daniel, but your story becomes inconsistent, so it's easy. Anyways, that's my piece on that.
Yeah, we're talking about it, and I understand where some people might say that we're on Daniel. Well, I'd like to say that we're talking about Daniel.
Yes.
Because before today, he was the only one talking. And each week, he gave us new or different stuff to talk about, whether we want to believe that or not. Today, we got information from another source. So, quite a bit of tonight's conversation also included Janie. But as I stated, and I don't know how many times now, and I'm not counting, but to get this solved, if we want to bring these kids home, we either have to hear from the RCMP that what they've got, and or Malaya and Cindy. Those are the only two people, and the only reason why I say Cindy is because Malaya was staying there after the fact, and I think Malaya would have to talk to somebody. And I know that her relationship with her mother isn't great from what we know, but grief can do a lot of stuff. And Malaya is in grief unless the fact is that she knows that she doesn't have to be in grief. Because she told us in her interview she was grieving and so full of grief and sorrow, I think is the words that she used.
Pain and sorrow.
Pain and sorrow, was it?
Pain and sorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said to myself, the first day when she left, I said, because at that time I was thinking it was an accident and a cover-up. And I said, you're damn right she wasn't going to stay there a second night. She'd be haunted. If those kids were on alive, do you believe that you could stay in the home if you were involved in their nefariously of what happened to them? I know I wouldn't be able to. I'd be scared shitless that the ghosts would come and get me. Like,
Well, we've
especially
got
with that
Daniel
scream.
here. He's actively answering some questions. You
Go
were
ahead.
also in that. Thank you, Kent. You were also in that that private message with your mom. So, is that something that you would be willing to do with Lana and Bree? If not, like I suggested the other night, just a one-on-one with maybe not Sunny or me or anybody here, but any other creator whatsoever. Is that something you'd be willing to do, just to kind of clarify the information that you've put out there, not to add to anything that could harm the investigation, but just to clarify the things that you have put out there? Please, Kent, let me finish. Is that something that you would be willing to do now that we have you here and you're answering questions? This, again, people can misconstrue this, and questions are coming fast and furious, and it gets frustrating not only for, I'm sure, Sunny, but for yourself. So the way that Bree and Lana handled it today was spot on. Your mom did leaps and bounds to clear up a lot of misinformation that was out there. So is that something you'd be willing to do? Go ahead, Kent. Floor is yours.
No, I was done. I was just taking up time.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Let me just go back on camera. I'm sorry. Sorry. My bad. Sorry, there was a couple super chats. You guys are just eating up the chat over there. And Daniel, I do want to say thank you. I do want to say thank you, Daniel. Regardless, you're speaking. Okay, you're not hiding your Facebook, right? Like Malaya, up and down and all around like a freaking ass roller coaster and stuff like that. So I get it. Like, I do understand, Daniel, even if inconsistencies are happening out there, you are talking regardless. And if what Charmaine said, appeases to you, then that would be great. I know, like I said, you haven't shut down your Facebook. You're not you're not doing this typical hiding and avoiding um, in 99% of what you're doing, right? Again, it is about Lily and Jack. And I'm sorry that if during this whole case that lives are impacted, your mom's life is impacted. A lot of people's lives are impacted. Thank you guys for the super chats and stickers. Appreciate the support. I do. Your guys' lives are impacted, right? Everyone, you know the truth. Perhaps you don't. You know, Malaya knows the truth. Perhaps she doesn't. But there's somewhere in there. There's a truth. Don't know what it is at all. But Jack and Lily deserve a voice, and they deserve a voice from the family, right? Because we, no matter what you say or anyone says, we are Jack and Lily's army, and we will keep fighting for the truth and pressing full court press on you. Like, not you, I just mean on this case, because we just want answers for Jack and Lily. Whatever happens, happens, right? The outcome is going to happen regardless at the end of the day, right? Well, hopefully, okay, because there is a chance of it turning into a cold case. There is, be realistic, right? But I pray not. I pray that there's answers. And like I said, it's not about you. It's not about Malaya per se. It is, but it's not. It's about Jack and Lily first and foremost. And nobody will ever come in front of them or any other case that I cover at all. And I'm just really sad that we literally have to keep looking at these faces for 2 months and 11 days, and then listen to your mom talk about the little stories of Jack and Lily. I'm sure you have a bunch of your own, right? Just like Malaya does. I don't know. Children. These children deserve voices from your families. Malaya's family included. Granted, your family speaking out the most. And don't think that that's not noticed. Why is Malaya's side not speaking out as much? Why? We don't know
Daniel,
the answer to that either.
did you answer my question? Or my, I guess it's an offer. Like, I get that your family has been ripped apart, but I didn't see if you said anything before that. Did you, is that something that you want to do or that you'd be willing to do? I mean, I know that you witnessed what went on with your mom today, and it was respectful, and she got through it. And like I said, it was huge in clearing up misunderstandings. Huge. That's all that needs to happen here, honestly.
Malaya. We need you too. Just if
And maybe if Daniel did it, maybe Malaya would want to do it too. Do you know what I mean?
Might piss her off if he does it.
Maybe.
Maybe it might make her come out of the freaking that shell that she's hiding behind. Who knows? But this is bullshit. 2 kids are missing. Well, let me just keep hiding behind a lawyer. I know, guys. Don't get me wrong. The wise thing to do is hide behind a lawyer. It is, regardless, right? It just depends where the truth lies with this case, though, right? We'll see. It will come out. Jack and Lily deserve us. They deserve all the love and care, regardless. And I can't speak highly enough. Myself, did he answer? I can't speak highly enough of Alana and Bree, and thank you, Shanna, as well, and Daphne, and that for working on that timeline, and whoever else is putting out all these efforts to do stuff. You guys might not have been in that private chat today, but we're like, I'm gonna go through that stuff again, and we'll talk about it again. We might not be able to play, okay?
White said Daniel's mom was in a private chat room answering questions today through Bree and Lana. But basically, you'll have to wait until her interview comes out on CBC. Probably if it's in the same time frame as the other ones, we could expect maybe towards the end of this week, early next. They didn't tell them yet when they're going to air, but just speaking from when Belinda did hers and then when it aired, it was 10 to 12 days later. So that's the only guess that we have. It wasn't something that you can go and check up. The rules of the group that Lana and Bree laid down was to be no screenshots, no screen recordings, to be shared outside. We could talk about the info that was shared, but we weren't allowed to cut and paste and cut it up and share it.
Alana, just checking. Did somebody make a comment, or are you just making sure you're putting that out there? Because if I just want to make sure that nobody said a comment to take away from it, because I'll just boot them out of here if there was. We don't need that kind of crap in here, to be
Not
honest.
just that, I'd like to clear up some other stuff and ask all of our viewers to help with this. There's no, Sunny is not doing any fundraising activities. She is not collecting money for anybody. She is helping spread the word about Lana's fundraisers, which are completely legitimate. But this channel is not holding any kind of fundraiser. We are not trying to collect money for donations for any reason at all.
And somebody said that.
Yes, in other channels. Yeah.
Oh, that. And you know what? Did that come off of that? I'm not even going to say his name, to be honest. You know what? I'm not even going to stoop to that level, to be honest with you. Because, bottom line is people get jealous, right? Or they get pissy. Whatever. I honestly have a cup of go F yourself to those people. Do not care. We know the purpose we're here. We know exactly the channels that actually truly care about Jack and Lily and stuff like that. So whatever. And honestly, the only thing I ever said was that I would I have a fourth wall, right, which has my it's a crime and shame stuff on it. That I would make maybe a couple mugs for Jack and Lily, and any of them, all of the proceeds would go right to Lana and the fundraiser.
Johnny,
yeah.
I don't like that comment. The Jack go up 3, Jackson. Why should he take a plea deal? Jackson, he might not have done anything wrong. Are you judge and jury all in one?
Yeah, Jackson. Jackson, please, member, come off pony.
We're not accusing anybody here of doing anything. We're trying to find out how we can best and quickly get the kids to come home.
Yeah. Please, you guys, no targeting nastiness, okay? Yeah. Let's make this clear again. There is no charges been brought against Daniel or Malaya. At the end of the day, we don't know the true answer. We can't accuse anyone of anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily. We can say that they were underneath Malaya's and Daniel's care when these children went missing, right? We can say that because they did. But as for take a plea deal because he's guilty and did this, like, I have my thoughts and my theories too. But it has to be a thought and a theory, and that's it.
Cognizo or Naso or whatever your handle is states that Daniel has 5 kids and no job. Where in the hell have you been for the last 4 to 5 weeks? We've explained this plenty of times. Daniel has a full-time job at a sawmill. In Nova Scotia, our road shut down in the spring. Therefore, pulp trucks or whatever are only allowed partial loads. So when they have good employees, they offer their employees to lay them off, get them on their unemployment going, and then they work 1 day a week for that period of time when the mill is slowed. The same thing happens if it's too hot in the summer. The mill will slow down production because they can't get product. So he works full time, 9 months out of the year. The rest of the time, he may be gaining some unemployment and working some time at the mill, but you can't state and put out a fact saying that he has no job and has 5 kids. It's been stated numerous times on numerous channels, that situation. So continue to bring up the falsehoods, please.
So people that are typing in the chat, for the most part, we're speculating, right? And we have covered all kinds of information over the last 2+ months. And if there's a comment with something that we've already covered, but it's kind of insignificant, I think that that's got a lot to do with why Sunny doesn't address it. And she misses some stuff, but
A lot of stuff.
at the end of the day, yeah. Especially you're not used to having a co-host, so when I highlight stuff for you to see, you don't even read it. You move to the next one because you think you've seen it.
It's because I'm reading the comments and then I'm like, oh, I should click on that one, right? And I don't even realize me and Charmaine haven't messaged on that part yet.
Yeah. So I mean, I understand what Daniel is saying about, there's no need in trying to piss Malaya off because she already won't look at him, and people in chat want to know why won't she even look at you. But to me, it's kind of almost sort of irrelevant to my question posed. Like, I didn't say anything about getting on here and pissing her off. I'm just saying if you got up here or anywhere and clarified some of this, because for all we know, she's sitting with her people watching everything that you're saying and all of the changing stories and stuff. And they could just be loving it, knowing that it's just like it's ruffling feathers. It's getting us all talking about Daniel Martell. Nobody is really talking about Malaya anymore. So if we had all of these inconsistencies cleared up by Daniel, maybe the focus would go back to where you think it belongs. And literally, that's all I want. That's all I need to be able to clear up all of these questions and gaps. Because from day one, Daniel, and I told you, I've wanted to believe you. I've wanted to believe you. And Sunny has wanted to believe you. So
many times.
I mean, you will be protected, just like Bree and Lana did with your mom. You will be protected, just to clear it up. It would do wonders for the narrative of the story to go the proper way. That's all.
That I like, just ego wise. That's probably pissing me off because I always know to go with my gut instinct. And if I waver from my gut instinct, I'm usually wrong if I don't go with my initial gut instinct. So it does piss me off because like you just said, Charmaine, so many times me and you just kept wanting always to believe in Daniel, wanting to believe, but then the inconsistency started happening, and that's when I couldn't keep thinking, okay, believe in Daniel, but yet my gut has always said believe in Daniel. Even now, my gut is always like, what if he's really just telling the truth? But if he could clear it up, if he could just clear it up, right? It would make so much difference. But he refuses to really clear it up. Like that's the part. So then, for me, it's kind of like, okay, if you don't want to clear it up, then I look at it again differently, of course. Why would I look at it as if he's being truthful anymore, right? And the thing is that I truly don't know where the lies are. The lies are in there, absolutely. This should have never be where it's at right now. This should be that you're willing to work with anyone that if you keep saying, like, I know that you said it early on, like I promised Malaya, and I know that, and to the end of time, etc. I'll keep looking for the kids, stuff like that. But again, then get on board. This is Jack and Lily. So get on board with Alana and Bree. Get on board with the posters, right? If you truly mean Jack and Lily, right, don't talk about some stapler about and getting posters today, right? But you can change your actions today, you know? So I just don't get that. I'm sorry, but I don't, because it's been 2 months and 11 days, you know? And like I told you, Alana came out there, you know, and Darren was supposed to talk to her. Darren avoided her, ended up not talking to her. You avoided her, ended up not talking to her. Why? We're fighting for Jack and Lily. Isn't that what you said you were doing? Right? I mean, again, I'm just going by what information that you're putting out there, the little bit Malaya's put out there, you know, what your family's putting out there. You got someone calling you a druggie, you know, your mom saying, you saying you're not. Where's the truth in all of this? It's right? Where's the truth? There's truth here. Why is it
Danielle,
so hard?
like I know investigators don't want you talking, but I mean you're talking in here. I'm not asking if you want to come on and talk about the investigation and all this stuff. I'm saying the things that you have already talked about in mainstream media, and then certain details have changed. That's all I'm saying is go on and clarify what's already out there that came out of your mouth. I'm not asking you to put more information out there. I mean, the damage is done with the investigation, whatever, which, don't get me wrong, that's ridiculous. No damage has been done to this investigation. None. Don't even worry about it. But just what you've said. So to me, that's a non-answer. Sorry, but it's a non-answer.
And if we're able to clear up Daniel's information, then we can put as much pressure on the RCMP and Malaya, because
Absolutely.
they have to release something.
When they have a swarm, right, after a while, you know, then something might pop out again. Anyways, yeah,
They
sorry.
don't want to look any worse in the public eye on
They
this
don't.
case than they did any other case. So the pressure on them is coming, because the rest of the family, pretty soon we're going to be out that all family is talking.
Yeah. There's I want to say this again, you guys. Come on now. 911 911, just like what's on the here. 911 people watching. And guess what? Only 381 views for Jack and Lily. Come on now. Let me put their faces back up there. Okay, that makes you want to hit the like button, doesn't it? I think it does. Put your DNA there, guys. Jack and Lily, right? All day long, Jack and Lily, regardless, okay? Whatever Daniel's actions are, whatever Malaya's actions are, regardless, Jack and Lily, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
He does absolutely have the right to remain silent, even though, and I also like to say nobody has been named a suspect in public, and like Daniel said, it's still considered a missing persons case. Which, Daniel, just like between you and I would be questioning the RCMP on that little tidbit if all of the questions in your polygraph were about the ending of Jack and Lily. I would really be questioning what they consider this case to be, because no, they don't. Maybe that's what they're telling you, but no.
I want to stop. I do want to stop for a sec, you two, myself, because, well, first I have to give the toilet a drink, but secondly, we're going to play Jack and Lily's tribute video, because, again, I want everyone to be impacted by that. These children are 2 children that are truly missing out there. So give yourself a couple minutes on this one, but I'm playing it because I want everyone to be reminded what this is all about. Sunny from It's a Crime and Shame. And someone had sent me this beautiful song called Come Home, Jack and Lily. And I wanted to do Belinda, and I wanted to do Alana King, and all you guys out there, this beautiful little video to attach to it. Thank you so much for the person who wrote the poem. Thank you for fighting for Jack and Lily's army. Please hit the like and the share. Thank you so much.
In the quiet dawn of a May morning, two little hearts went out to play. Lily's laughter, Jack's small footsteps vanished with the breaking day. Come home, Jack and Lily. We're praying for us, dear. The woods are deep and silent, but our love will draw you near. Through forest paths and endless trees, searchers called your names aloud. Hope flickered in the morning breeze as prayers rose up to the clouds. Jack and Lily, we're praying for your dear. The woods are deep and silent, but our love will draw you near. Sunsets over Pictou County, stars shine with gentle grace. The community holds a vigil, longing for your embrace. Come home, Jack and Lily. We're praying for us, dear. The woods are deep and silent, but our love will draw you near.
There we go. Oh, where's Ken? There we go. And just like that, I want to say we dropped over 120 and 30 people watching, right? All about Jack and Lily, is it? 120 people dropped out of
Some
there.
people don't like to cry, Sonny.
Come on now. Maybe that's some of the reason on there. Bottom line is, this is who we're fighting for. Jack and Lily. You know, these are true children that deserve answers. That's what we're fighting for every single day. And yeah, keep the comments, you guys. I'm gonna make it longer if I have to. You know, I'll turn it to subs only if I have to. You know, if the comments, okay, guys. Again, remember what it's about, Jack and Lily, on there. Okay. You know what? Let's see here. Is there something? Is there any like? I really have to go back and listen to what Janie said there. Did Daniel ever answer you? I'm coming.
No.
How did you moved us around?
There were things that Daniel said in chat, but he didn't. To me, it was a non-answer over and over again. He didn't give a yes or no. He didn't give a. And I'm sorry, Daniel, you just didn't give a legitimate, reasonable answer as to why or why not you would do something like what your mom did today. The investigation is doesn't apply. Pissing Malaya off, that's not the purpose of it, so that doesn't apply. It's a yes or no if you want to clear the misinformation up and get more people to understand what your side is, you know.
Everyone thought it was an intro. No. Oh, just quickly, I just gotta tackle this for a second. Barbara, I can't see why you aren't able to. Okay, so Barbara, unless you weren't subbed here and you had the 20-minute wait time, but you're a member, so there's no reason why you can't chat. You might want to go out and come back in or something, because there's absolutely no reason why you can't chat here at all. You're not blocked, you're not anything. So you might want to consider, because there's no issue, right? So I don't know what the issue. Oh, wait, hold on. Luminous. So Luminous is in the house, apparently. Luminous, I know you were in that Voices Behind the Wall there. I think it was called. Sorry, my bad. Yes, Voices Behind the Wall. I don't know why. I keep remembering the word voices in the wall, but I always forget the couple words in the middle on there. So that was the one. That was the one that basically talked to Justin, and saying about Justin's new girlfriend and stuff like that. Again, Luminous, you're more than welcome in here. Although I know we spoke about yesterday. So I'm not trying to say anything towards you this way, but again, Daniel's life is Daniel's life, regardless how any of us feel about it. He's a grown man, can do what he wants. It doesn't look good, I'll say that much. But wait, again, wherever the truth lies there, actually don't care, to be honest. Like I said, it's his life. Jack and Lily are the focus of this. But anyways, welcome to the chat, like I said. But we're not going to twist this into any sort of thing about that anymore. Had our say about it a little bit at the start, and that's pretty much it for that. So what's this? Sunny Rogue comment. What's that?
Rogue just basically said that this channel will use your words against you and to get a lawyer, but they've also been posting for Daniel to take a plea deal for this entire live stream. So again, I don't know how this whole co-host admin thing works. I can't remove a comment or anything. So if you want,
so they're it's okay. Oh, no problem. I'll block. Hey, Rogue. Honestly, get yourself a life first of all, and it's so nice, right? You come in with the name Rogue. But anyways, I just want to remind you that every day that you wake up, you're a useless piece of shit. Remember that. Your mama loves you. Probably dropped it on your head a few times. Anyways, get out. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Just wanted to take a little bit of that, stress from today off on Rogue. Anyways, and mods, obviously, if you see stuff, don't forget, if they're just being simple ass rude, time them out. Well, no, if they're being extremely rude, time them out. Right? Obviously, if they're making comments that are like that rude kind of, give them a timeout. We don't, again, the subscriptions for people like you, I don't want you on my channel anyway. So hasta la vista to those people that if you get the boot, don't be mad. I'll be glad, to be honest with you. We're not here. It's hard to control this many people. Again, and for me to see everything going on, it's hard to run a live that way. And so, Sherman, all you have to do, by the way, if there's somebody you want to boot, you just click the 3 dots on their comment and then hit ban and hide user.
So after this live is done, I'm going to share my screen with you, and you can see what I see. There are no 3 dots. There are no options. So we'll figure it out later.
It's probably not going to show up if we're not on the live, though. Right? Once the live ends.
Well, you're still going to be able to see what I see. Like even before we went live and I saw this format.
Yeah.
Like I see the star, I can show the comment, but there's no 3 dots like in a regular chat, and there's nowhere for me to type in chat. So I'll show you afterward. Just
screening it for me, at least. Okay. Okay, so we got the road comment thing going on. You know what? Let's okay, wait. Uh Kent,
Yeah.
anything that you're seeing scrolling in chat there that you want to tackle?
No, I seen the same thing about Rogue, and I was like,
Or
I
just
don't have
comments in
no three
general?
dots on my channel either, and I was holding, and it was wanting me to copy and paste, and so
Yeah.
I just let it go. But I was gonna, if he continued, I was gonna say something to you,
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
Charmaine did.
Yeah. Again, this is about the missing and the murdered. Simple as that, first and foremost, right? Just be respectful to each other in the comments. You know, there's no need, like I said, to sit there and say, you know, Daniel, when are you going to take your plea deal and stuff like that? You
I
know,
do think that if you want to, though, Sonny, you could bring up Lana's post about the event, the fundraiser event.
Just one sec, though. Harmony, you don't have to be pro Daniel. Like, you've been here before. You know what this channel's all about. We are pro Jack and Lily, and we are pro truth, and we are also pro being respectful. If a family member wants to come in here and talk, you're not going to get them to talk if you're an asshole to them, and we're not going to allow our chatters to be assholes either. Like, this is beyond ridiculous, you guys. Grow up.
I'm sure Daniel can answer that, to be honest with you. You know what? Grab yourself a brain cell, Harmony, okay? Honestly, where is that comment? I'll just boot her ass out myself. Yeah, you're just, honestly, maybe you were dropped on your head when the freaking brain train came out. Seriously, it's like moronic. Listen, it's not about Daniel. It's not about Malaya, as in about sitting there being pro anything. It's about the information coming out and Jack and Lily. And if your little brain cells can't seem to understand this, then you don't even belong in here. Go back to kindergarten, grab yourself a little bit of brains. Fuck, anyway, sorry.
We don't do that. Our chat is not like that. And I mean, if you can't wait, and no offense to Dolly, we know we love Dolly here, but if that's what you're into, then go to Dolly. Like, we don't do that here. Our chat is respectful. And as the channel grows, our moms have to be a little bit more diligent about keeping it that way, because this is ridiculous.
Thank you, BBB. BBB. Well, you know what? Honestly, every day, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what channel you're in. Honestly, these morons exist. They do. They can't see the light of day, right? It doesn't matter what you say to them because they're somehow smarter than this channel. How much information have we given out? And then people want to be so ignorant and stuff like that. People want to thrive for information on this case. And then a moron like that comes in. But whatever. It is, you know what? It's laughable, is what it is. Okay. Don't have the time of day for it, right? You guys are here for Jack and Lily. Be here for Jack and Lily. Be here for the information or not. Simple as that. Not here to play games with anybody. And I'm sure Daniel would have said differently, to be honest with you. Daniel would be like, what the fuck? Okay, Daniel Martell, can you tell us about the days before? Well, again, we can go over that. I mean, you can go back into this live, Mag, and Kent talks about, you know, the whole days leading up to, because Janie did talk about that. So that's in the earlier part of the live. Anyways, okay. You know, I don't know. Is there anything more? I don't even know. It's like,
We were going to get to the fundraiser info.
thank you.
It's not the people that are questioning Daniel that are getting booted. It's the people that are completely disrespectful about their opinions that are getting booted.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
See, Barbara, you know how to use that typer. And yes, he's been talking in here, Barbara. And thank you for your super stickers. So you were probably giving some of those super stickers because you thought you couldn't chat. You're chatting just fine right there. I can see you, girl, on there. Yeah, you know, it's the ignorance that comes along with it. You know, like I said, I'm not that person. Okay, seriously. Like I said, I do this out of passion and care and love for the murdered and the missing. And I don't need anybody's bullshit at the end of the day, right? It's about awareness, right? It's about being kind to others. And it's about being respectful as best as you can, knowing full well that we have speculation talk and stuff like that. Absolutely. But whatever. I'm tired of preaching the same song and dance. Get out. Basically, get out if you don't want to be here for information, or you want to leave your nasty comments. Don't need ya. And if you are here because you truly care and love Jack and Lily in this case, and you really want to find answers, then stick around. Hit the like button, hit the share. Do it again for Jack and Lily. I can't understand when a case is about children first and foremost, or a person, just some of the ignorance of it all, to be honest with you. But whatever. I mean, just give them the big toe. Mark, if you see anybody, give them the big toe. Image file. Yeah. If anybody can't handle looking at a fundraiser either for Jack and Lily, you know where the door is too. So Jack and Lily, the unsung heroes, fight. So the vigil's on the 2nd, right? Am I still right on that, Ken? It's on the 2nd of August.
Yes, the vigil.
The vigil, okay. Now, you guys, again, if you're in the area, go to the vigil. Go support it. Janie says she's going to the 2nd vigil, right? She said she didn't want to go to the first one because she didn't want to be
attacked by reporters.
Okay? Again, her call. She's an adult. She can do what she wants, regardless.
But she said she damn well will be at this one.
Right. And I'm sure Dad, I want to say this because, Daniel didn't know Belinda was going to be there. And Daniel literally said, basically gave Belinda one of the things to let off, right? On there. I mean, honestly, that was a very sweet thing to do. I don't think it was like, oh, let me see if I can get Belinda underneath my, wing here and all. Honestly, when I saw that, it was so sweet that Daniel had offered to let Belinda put up the balloon. She put up Jack's. Lily was a feisty one. Lily's had a couple different colors to that one because they had to stomp out the first one on there. Take that again how you want. Lily being a little feisty thing. But anyways, or maybe Jack is now, throwing the boot at the bus driver. But anyways, so this one is the fundraiser event, you guys. Again, it's for Jack and Lily. Anyone that thinks it's a scam or any of that stuff, again, don't do anything then. That's how you feel. No. But this is supported by Belinda, Lana, and Bree, and so many other people that are volunteers have took their own time. Remember that. Their own time to sit there and make these events.
No, Viral Beast, it's not this channel who's raising money for anything. No, it's not. We are not raising money to make flyers. We never said.
Thank you.
We are sharing the information about the fundraiser because Lana is a member of this channel.
Yeah, because some other moronic channel is putting that crap out there, right? Okay. So again, thank you for asking. This channel is taking zero money for a fundraiser. It supports the fundraiser because it supports Jack and Lily, and it supports those beautiful hearts that are using their own free time to put out all these posters and information and provide you guys with some bracelets to buy, right? I got my bracelets. How about you guys? I got my bracelets. I got my keychains. I got my deco coming, and I got my block on the draw, right? Because two beautiful ladies, well, there's more than this, but Bree and Lana, right? Again, these aren't their children. They care about the case. They wanted to do something. They wanted to do something special for Lily and Jack. Thank you, all you guys out there, for the fundraiser that are using your time and love and care for Jack and Lily. And nobody will ever take away from that. Belinda, this is the only fundraiser that is supported by the family, by Belinda. There's no other fundraiser going on out there, not by this channel. And if any other channel is doing it or trying to raise money for Jack and Lily, then it's a fraud. So anyways, thank you for asking. And for all you Jillian, Jilly, for all you Lily and Jack warriors out there, if you guys see it in another channel about that stuff, try to shut it down if you can. Because again, there's always these people that try to take away from good-hearted people. It gets old, it gets boring, and I honestly, it's just a joke how the human race works. Instead of sitting there being positive, but you know what? Those are the few versus the many that care. That's where it matters. Alana just confirmed packages went out. Yep, she said packages went out. And when my stuff comes in, I'll gladly show it to everybody on the live because I'll be proud that I'm sitting. Like, it doesn't mean everyone has to, right? Obviously not. But I'm going to be proud covering this case, having little Jack and Lily keychains and a decal. I'll probably put it on my a mug that I have and stuff like that. Why? Because I'm supporting everything that they're doing for this fundraiser. They're doing it for Jack and Lily. They've already told you where the money's going. And if anyone wants to think differently, or be ignorant about it in here, you're going to get the boot too. Okay? Don't need that stuff. Don't need it. Don't need disrespect to Belinda. Don't need disrespect to the fundraiser. Just don't need it. It's Jack and Lily. People are so mean and cruel. They really are, some of them. They're just nasty, some of these people out there, right?
Well, it's like the people that couldn't get into the private chat today because they weren't invited. So therefore, they go back into the general uncensored chat and start calling Bree and Lana down for the way they were running it. Well, guess what? If it wasn't run that way, we still wouldn't have the information that Janie gave us, and we wouldn't know because we would be speculating on how she felt. But after today, people, I can tell you, the woman is hurt.
Yeah.
She hurt the same as Belinda is hurt by the fact that they don't know where the kids are. And you'll be able to see that when her interview comes out on CBC. I'm sorry you weren't a member of that chat room before it happened, but I don't think it was anything that was planned. Lan and them could correct me, but I think she just popped up in the chat and then started answering a few, and then they seen that they were going to have to take control of it because everybody was asking questions at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. And yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Anyways, you know what? Let's go back to the positive where it belongs. Okay? Back to the positive. The fundraiser, you guys, August 9th, from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m., Westside Community Center, New Glasgow, Nova Scotia, on there. So again, I see Bree has made up a ton of different, I'm pretty sure I seen it yesterday or today, that she made up a ton of these different ones and stuff like that. Again, for all those people that are within the area, live a few hours away, and you want to go to the fundraiser, that's where it is, okay? So let's keep this back to positive again. Negativity, it's easy to get swallowed up in that stuff. Okay, so let's see here. So again, just for people that did come in, right? For people that did come in after the fact, I will add, I guess I got to take that down. Okay. And you know what? Like I said, I saw, like, Alana showed me her list of all these things, all these events. Like, that woman had a freaking, just a whole bunch of stuff lined up. Be appreciative, like, and you guys know the good ones out there, right? That are, willing to dedicate your time and efforts, and it's on your own dime. It's on your own dime. Don't let anyone bring you down. Lana, Bree, and all the supporters, the people that are helping out with the fundraisers, or the people that are making their own posters on their own phones and printing them off and supporting Lily and Jack. That's the way it should be. So come on, family, giddy up, giddy up. Malea's family, Martell's family, Mackenzie family. Let's go, chop chop. So this again was a phone call, where for like a time, like basically part of the timeline. Let me quickly just make this bigger. Okay, Cindy Murray. This is May 2nd. The day that the children went missing at 11:33 a.m. Missed call at 11:33 a.m. Call back, whatever, and then park on the side of the road. And then, so this is obviously with her and Malaya, right, guys? This conversation.
That's what she said earlier. Yes,
Okay.
Malaya and
Thank
Cindy.
you. I just wanted to confirm before I outspoke myself on that. And then 12:01 p.m., right? I'm on my way now. Okay. Video call. 2 minutes, 51 seconds, 12:08 p.m., right? 12:24 p.m. Send the Amber Alert. Tell the police to send an Amber Alert. Again, so people wanting a timeline, about when Cindy Murray was leaving and I'm on my way now and all that. And they're looking for the timeline to add. Thanks to Alana. Thanks to, well, she has Lana, so I would say Lana more or less. But thanks to Lana, yeah, the family was gracious enough to send these and to want them to be shared. And then as well, there's this one here. Let me put us back on for a second. This is the time of the 911 call that everyone wanted to know about. What time is it? 10:01. 10:01 a.m. May 2nd, Friday. Right? Now, again, this was sent by Lana. The person that's holding the fundraiser that people are trying to take away from. Again, and it's from, guess who? Malaya's side of the family. So thank you guys all very much to any family member, regardless, speaking out, trying to, regardless of the information, right? Or I should say, again, take it with whatever you want. That's up to you to determine what you think about this case. It's not up to me to sit there and tell you guys how to think. You guys are an adult. You guys can do what you want, except for you have to be nice in here. Simple as that. But anyways. So we'll remove that back, go to Jack and Lily again. I honestly, I really want to, I don't really have any much more to say tonight, to be honest with you. I've worked, we've been freaking listening to Janie's things all night, all day. There was 10 of them. I really want to go listen to all those messages now. And I just want to, just because there's a lot that there is some that I didn't hear. I was trying to hear as many as I could, but there definitely are at least 20 or 30. I probably
You better have your clinics close.
Eh?
You better have your clinics close.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, no, like I said. So, Janie, I do want to say again, Janie, thank you for literally, I know that the interview helped her release some of this pressure, and heartache and stuff that's going on. And I get that. I absolutely get that. But thank you for coming into Lana and Bree's private chat and literally having hours of time of you, on the mic there, using your voice, hearing your thoughts about what happened, days up and leading to the children's disappearance. Regardless, thank you so much for that. And I'm so sorry, honestly. I'd be here, for all the pain that you're going through. Belinda, she has a hard time sleeping every single night, right? Because all she thinks about from morning till night, from dusk till dawn, is about what happened to Jack and Lily. And I'm sure that your pain is the same. But the thing is that only today could we really associate where the hurt as you were speaking in some of those messages. But anyways, thank you for doing. Kent, you good?
I was coughing. Yeah, good.
You don't need some mouth-to-mouth resuscitation over there?
Nope.
No?
Time to go to bed.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So,
thanks, everybody. See you later.
yeah. Hi. Take care. Thank you so much, Kent. Sometimes I always seem to have to give him the big toe. Where is he? It's like I don't. Oh wait, he's probably down there. I'll give him the big toe. Kick from studio. Kick guest. Bye, Kent. Bye. Okay. the stapler comment was just ridiculous. I'll say that. I mean, that's going to be used over every single YouTube platform.
Viral Beast, it wasn't this channel doing a fundraiser. The QR code that was posted on one of the live streams was for Alana's fundraiser. The information that you and others are putting out there that we are holding a fundraiser. We are not. It can't be any clearer than that. Please drop it.
The
Please.
QR codes. Yeah, Viral Beast, I'm sorry, but you must be a big effing moron. Seriously. Any QR code that was up there, that PayPal, that was for Lana's fundraiser. So you need to get your shit and facts straight. Honestly, dense as dense can be. I don't even think anything can fix this type of stupidity. I got screenshots, from Lana's fundraiser that I was putting up. Grab yourself a brain cell. Jesus. You know what? I'm going to boot your ass too. I can't stand that type of stupidity. If you can't do your own homework and you say you got screenshots from a live, morons. Morons. Jesus. Okay, back to positivity. All right, sorry. Honestly, these people, no matter what, some of these people, they're just trying to tear you down. Doesn't matter how good of a person you are. Yeah? Anyways, whatever to that, guys. It's to the people that matter about this case. Those are the ones that I care about. Honestly, thank you to the It's a Crime and Shame family. Thank you to all the people that really come in here. You know, if there's some people that are coming out here just to leech the information and then move on. Okay, expect it. Whatever, right? Don't care. Again, I just think that when two children are missing, right, type of thing, and you literally still have to beg people to hit a like button for the children, I kind of think that's really a bit of a joke. It should be hit for the children anyway, because you're following the case and you care about Jack and Lily. So why wouldn't you not want it to go in the algorithm? Why would you not want to do that for Jack and Lily? Well. So, your facts are wrong. Will QR code leads to the fundraiser. Right, absolutely. Hey, somebody with brains. Thanks. Thanks, you, Gren.
Well, they were trying to explain it to him, and then Mark thanked him for, whatever, and said, I'm glad we could clear that up. And then they just kept going, well, actually, you didn't clear it up, blah, blah, blah. Like, what part don't you understand? And he said, well, basically, excuse me for being skeptical of fundraisers. And fair enough, you should be skeptical of fundraisers, absolutely. But when you're told the information 10 times by the host, by the co-host, and then
click on the damn QR code.
Take a picture, drop it already.
I know, right? Again,
and that is the person that I saw in another channel, saying that we were raising money for something.
Oh, I mean, I would have booted him right away then. Honestly, stupidity just runs, like knee deep pretty much when it comes to this. It's a joke. Not here for the purpose of entertaining that type of stupidity. I'm not. I don't have the patience for that. I got a lot of patience, but I don't put up with online bullcrap, right? If you're here to support Jack and Lily or the Missing in the Mortar or the channel, I agree. That stapler comment's going to be everywhere.
That's going to come back to bite them in the ass.
It's going to come back to, I know, I don't even understand how he even said that.
We're almost done.
Oh, is that Ian?
Yeah, the festival. Like, I'm so hungover. Don't tell anybody. Oh my God. But I got it.
What? What do you got to do?
I'm hungover. From Derbyville. Yeah.
From yesterday?
There's another band playing tonight that I have to go to.
Well, bye-bye. See ya. Get out of here. Let's go.
I don't want to.
I'll say goodbye to everybody.
I don't want to go.
You do? Let's just lie.
I don't want to go.
You want to go.
And it's been going all fucking night. I'm fine. I'm fine. Please let me stay just a few more minutes.
Oh, fine, Charmaine. since you begged. Would you donate to this channel if I let you stay, Jimmy?
Me?
If I put up a QR code, will you donate to it? Because it comes right back to this channel, obviously.
I don't know how to work this fucking thing back here, so if I did, I would.
According to the Mythbusters, pretty sure. Isn't it so crazy that all that moron had to do was click on the QR code? If you got a picture of it, just freaking go. Where does it take you? Moron.
Yeah, no shit.
No shit, Sherlock, right? Anyways, love you, girl.
I'm roped in. I have to go.
Yeah.
I want to, but I have to go.
You know, what are you saying?
To Vanessa, she said, then don't go, Vanessa. Said that to me, and it's not that these are friends and they own the marina and they have this big music festival all weekend, and if I don't go, I'm a shitty friend, so I have to go. But I just want a little bit more. My liver needs a little more time.
You're the liver. There is a timeline for the night before. We heard it. Daniel said part of it the other day in a public chat, to be honest. Or no, that was a private chat thing, I think, too. You know, like I said, you know, like there's going to be an interview that's going to come out regardless with Darren and Janie on this, right? Wait, don't just, you know, for all you eager people out there, like I said, let me go, let me sift through, you know, all these messages and stuff like that. And then me and Charmaine and Kent and whatever can come back to you, maybe with some, you know, more things that we want to talk about that Janie had said, right? So, but there was tons of messages. And so I need time. And I work at 6 a.m. again tomorrow. I work 6 a.m. all week, you know? So trust me. Like I said.
That's funny, Jackson.
What did you say? Is he being a smart ass?
Tell them you can't find your stapler, then you won't have to go to the festival.
Okay, come on now. Come on now. Daniel. That's gonna be the freaking, I'm sure there's gonna freaking be a meme out there with Daniel's face on it with that one.
Yeah, that's just another shining example of the screenshots of a comment that you made in a chat room on YouTube that's going to be twisted. And I mean, really, it doesn't even have to be twisted. Like, what the fuck does that mean? But you get my meaning. Just talk to Alana, do your thing, clear this stuff up. Yeah. I'm gonna go. I should eat something before I go down.
Yeah, it's 7-Eleven. Guess it. It's 7-Eleven, Charmaine.
Is that?
Yeah, I mean, she should go to 7-Eleven first, obviously.
Do you know how far 7-Eleven is?
Yeah.
No can do.
Oh,
the closest thing is like about 50 feet is the bar. And
okay.
The closest thing to a Slurpee I'm going to be able to order is a margarita.
Mm-hmm. We need, well, you know what? Okay, go out of here. Have some fun. I'll talk to you later. You know, but thank you guys. Thanks, Kent. And thanks, Charmaine.
One more thing. Alana, I don't know, you don't know what I see back here, but I can't even enter chat. I'm doing it from my phone. Whenever I chat, your group has to be posted for Little Miss Muffin Top by Sunny.
Can you
Sunny,
send it to me? Yeah, as soon as Alana sends it to me in thing, because I always forget how to get there. Lana. Okay. Send me the linky.
Okay, I'm gonna go drown my whatever's left of myself.
The one with the join page. Okay, bye. Have fun. Love you. Bye.
How do I get out of here?
I'll kick you out. Shall we kick you out?
Yeah, because there's no exit button. Bye, everybody.
Okay. Wait, that says edit name. Hold on.
There's no exit.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on.
You see? Oh, I can remove myself.
Yeah, remove yourself. There you are. Okay. Yeah. Oh, right. It's because you're the co-host. I can't actually kick your ass out. Remove yourself. Okay.
I'll remove you too if I want to.
Wait, Charmaine.
What?
Stay for one more minute. I totally have to go give the toilet a drink, and that we just talk for one more minute. One more minute.
Okay. Let's see what Chad has to say. Yeah, this is really bizarre, you guys. Like, there's nothing back here. Usually I can see where I can time people out and stuff. There's none of that here. And there's not even a little box for me to chat with you. I have to actually have YouTube open on my phone to put comments in. That's why I didn't. We'll get that your page link. I do it, but I can't do that. Can't. I had my grandkids down there last weekend. I don't think I need ID. And plus, I was playing in a bouncy castle last night. I'm so humiliated, but I'll do it again. Truth is coming out. Daniel, Jack and Lily have an army behind them. How do we help them? If Daniel's still watching, that is a really... Oh, look, I can highlight comments. Jack and Lily have an army behind them. How do we help them? What do we need to do? In my humble opinion, we need to keep sharing the missing posters. If the Mackenzie side of the family truly believes that these kids are still alive, and we're not hearing from Malaya's side at all, the way I think Daniel would say to help would be to keep sharing their faces, keep sharing the story, keep digging for answers to misinformation, we'll put it that way. Keep talking about the case. That's literally all we as the public can do. What else? I'm not posting anything about Daniel's girlfriend, you guys. And I mean, I've also wondered if Daniel's still watching, that those are all very legitimate questions about the night before, without getting into like details about any kind of fight or, speculation about anything like that. But can you tell us what the kids had for dinner on Thursday night? Were they, like, what condition were they in? Was Lily feeling better? Was she taking medication for her cough? Did they have baths that night? It's what time did they go to bed? Did they go to bed extra early so they may have woken up extra early? I mean, it's all really relevant information. And I'm sure they had to go through it with the RCMP, so it'd be great if that, because it's not part of the investigation, don't get me wrong. It's got nothing to do with what happened to them, unless they ate some bad chicken and passed through the night or something. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not going to impede the investigation to tell the public what they had for dinner the night before.
Your wonderful co-host is back. Just saying.
I appreciate you. I was struggling.
You.
Sharon, hugs. Thank you. I needed that. Thank you, Sharon.
Okay. And here's that link, you guys, for Lana's. So click on join. If you guys want to join, and you guys can talk in the one chat. It's not going to be that private chat, but there is the chat for Jack and Lily. So there's a lot to be said in there. So go hit the join button, drop that link. Thank you very much, Lana, making my life simple and easier. So, 1 second. Go ahead, Sharmeen. What you reading?
I'm just trying to, because I was up trying to read chat while you were gone, so I'm just catching up, just making sure that I'm not missing anything. You don't have to drink. You can still have. I know. Oh, I know. Yes, Mom. I know. I know. I don't have to do anything. My family would at least one.
Oh.
Anything else for me?
We're at 498 likes, guys. Come on. Chop, chop. Over 500 we go. Let's go. Who hasn't hit that like button that's out there? Come on. I'll make sure Charmaine hosts a live for another hour by herself.
Charmaine, can you give us a quick recap for the weekend of the Jack and Lily case, or of the festival?
500. Thank you.
I don't know, Vanessa. Email me. I'll recap whatever you want me to. Sunburnt, yes, Sharon.
I feel like shirt feels so big and bulky. Okay, gotta spray my face. It's too hot.
Okay. I'm out of here. Wish me luck. I'll check in tomorrow. Proof of life.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye then.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys. Okay, so, oh my God, thank God they're both gone now. Shit, she's still in the back room and can hear me. Oh, there she goes on there. Okay, now just kind of look at what you guys are going to say for a few minutes, eh? You guys, thank you guys so much. You guys got over 500 likes. Even though there was probably about 900 people more than that at one point here. Thank you guys, though. Thank you, honestly. For those people that are really good, caring hearts out there, thank you. I was number 34, I think. Little bit slow to the races there, then, little Miss Muffet Tuffet. Yeah, that's because you were eating your curds away. On there. Hi, Ash Cash. How are you? Nice to see you. This live is 3 hours and 11 minutes long. That's like a Sunny special right there, right? I mean, when I do a live under 2 hours, that's amazing in itself. Yeah. It's like, can I tell you guys something, like, separately? So, besides I have to tackle the laundry that you guys can't see out of screenshot, my husband, he cleaned up the kitchen, he cleaned up the living room, he changed the kitty litter box, he cleaned up the bathroom while I was working, and he was just go, go, go. Because honestly, if there's one thing Sonny doesn't like to do, it's clean. I hate cleaning. Right? Right. Honestly, it needed it. If you have the choice between doing a live or cleaning, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know exactly what I'm going to do. Right? Yeah. Send it. I know he's a good little bitch, isn't he? Love your shirt. Thank you so much. I know, but right now it's just like, feels like it's because I'm sitting down, but I like baggy clothes. It's always been me. Whether I've been thinner, fat, doesn't really matter. So I've even like when I was, because I was always like 125 to 35 pounds typically, you know. Freaking now I'm like, just freaking harpoon me in the ocean. But hey, as long as the shirts, I like freedom. I'm not a big fan of jewelry and stuff like that. I don't like sunglasses on my eyes. I just like always to feel like just breezy, just easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to clone them for you, Shelly? Actually, let me go through these quickly. I want to say thank you because I know we're going to come off. Christina, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Randy McLean, back at ya. That's when the Rickroll plays. Let's see here. How did that one get? Oh, I get it. I think Charmaine starred that comment. That's where. Sending Charmaine, please ask. Okay. In our orders for support, when will be sent out as they seem to take along? Hopefully this week. Yeah. And those were she literally put up a picture of the post office and all the packages, or at least a couple pictures of all the packages, or at least most of them, because I'm sure there was too many that wouldn't make it into the picture. I feel sorry for the post guy that was there. If I thought my partner did it, I'd run. Absolutely. Shelly O'Brien, I would be out of there until they were found. 279 super chats. Thank you. Charmaine has some. She has some comments start. I see. Okay. Barbara Ann Hay. Well, Barbara Ann Hay, she was having some difficulties or something on there. Thank you so much. So you guys, Shelly O'Brien was $13.99. Barbara Ann Hay. Well, I mean, I think she got things worked out on there, but obviously there was. I don't know. I don't know what your issue was, Barbara. What was your issue, Barbara? Because obviously I could see you chat after that. Anyways, she Barbara, and we might as well just keep saying her name. $2 super chat, became a member. $2 super chat. How can I cannot comment? I'm getting angry. And then butterflies. are free. People need to be respectful. Jack and Lily. So I just want to give of course, a shout out for those guys, right? Um, Shannon, Sunny, what are your thoughts now? Um, you know what? Like I said, this isn't about a Daniel or Malaya side. It's about a Jack and Lily side. And don't forget, okay, so this is the link for joining you guys. I'll put that out again. Um, thank you, Gren. Thank you so much, you guys. Again, you know what? You know what? No one can actually beat me down. Doesn't matter. People are gonna try to, and you get that, right? People want to take away from what's truly important here, which is Jack and Lily, and they're gonna try to twist it. They're gonna try it again. You know, as jealousy gets in there because this channel, you know, has a lot of family members talking. You know, people are talking to Susan. You know, and people get pissy about stuff and whatever. And you know what? I don't honestly care about that stuff. My first and foremost thing I always think about is the children and answers and a timeline that makes sense. So when the timeline of like if the timeline made sense, we wouldn't probably be sitting here. You know, chances are if the timeline was truthfully told, we'd actually know what happened to Jack and Lily at this point. But it's not being told. So yeah, so how do I feel at this point? Honestly, I really, I'm confused in a sense. And the reason why I say I'm confused is because I haven't had a chance to listen to all of Janie's messages. And I really want to I really want to listen to everything she said and then put that information in my head. Um, and see again, like I know that Shanna and Daphne, they keep working on the timeline and adding to it and stuff like that. I seen you in a chat yesterday. Was it? I think it was in that chat that I was on. Mick McMackey. We'll say McMackey. McMackey. Could you? Weren't you in Voices Behind the Wall yesterday? I seen you somewhere. Can't remember. Maybe it was that one. I don't know. All I know is I was tired and I was just surfing the internet. Came across Voices Behind the Wall. I was like, let me just pop my head in there. And then I just seen a lot of you guys. A lot of people were in there. Stuff like that. So, again, I think I have something figured out in my head. And then it keeps changing as information comes in. Because, of course, I'm willing to let it. I really do need to listen to all of Janie's things again, you know, and put it into perspective. Daniel has been telling inconsistencies, you know, or what people might say is outright lies. So he doesn't seem to, you know, I don't know. I mean, I know that there's let me just show this. Somebody sent it to me, of course, and I know it was originally from like Justin's channel. No, that's not what I was looking for. That's not what I was looking for. That is the timeline though, but I'd have to open it up in my other thing, to be honest with you. But because of Janie talking today, there's going to be a lot more added to this. I thought I took a screenshot. Maybe I have to grab it again. Just 1 second. Time is it? 7:27. Should have got some water. Maybe I should just call the husband. Husband, bring your wifey a drink. Oh man, I'm having a stupid moment. You guys can't see my Facebook. Okay, good. Okay. Now, this is how it was sent to me. And I know people have seen it before, and I kept kind of asking about this. So, this is in reference to Netflix on there. I kept hearing people talk about it. Whoops, remove. So, someone was nice enough to send it to me. This portion of it, you can see where they've erased their own conversation out of it all. So up here, Daniel Martell, it's his fishing picture, right? Hey, Ken, I thought you were going to bed, buddy. Okay, thank you. And then down here, it says, and trust me, it was sent to me in a blurry kind of vision, but I can still make out what it says. So Daniel Martell, so they've obviously erased their own conversation part of it, but it says, yes, you can't. I imagine Netflix will have a movie too. So I think that kind of reminds me a little bit of the stapler comment. You know, knowing that it doesn't matter who he's talking to, that these messages will get sent around. Even if they don't come out at this moment, they'll come out regardless. 99.99999% of the time. It's just these stupid things that he says. Yeah. And it's like that stapler comment. I mean, it doesn't matter how many times I say it. That thing's going to be used on almost every platform. Right. Why are they talking? Why is he talking about Netflix already? Well, that's just it, right? It's like, so you're already thinking about a Netflix movie, you know? You're already thinking of having a girlfriend, you know? So it took you 2 months and 11 days to get a stapler. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It was his comment that prompted that, you know? I mean, I'm sure Malaya hasn't picked up a stapler. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure Malaya hasn't picked up a stapler and put out one freaking ass poster of Jack and Lily, you know? But Daniel, he got his stapler. He is. Is Seth Rogers live? Yeah, I'll watch him later. Thanks, Anon. Seth Rogers, he's the biological father of Sebastian Rogers, of course, in Tennessee there, Hendersonville, the 15-year-old autistic child that went missing. Oh, fan fund. Okay. Thanks, Mark. Oh yeah, I think you I think that you emailed me. Yeah. Thank you. That will be the upgrade from the little baby fan. Mind you, those things are good when you're sweating and you got that on. That's just heartbreaking. A movie, so sad. I know. Like, but to make that comment, right? But to make that comment, that's, you know what that reminds me of, though. I will say this. You know, with Christopher Proudfoot, right? Christopher Proudfoot made a comment about something like they're going to use this case. You know how they use cases for study, in a sense? Well, Christopher Proudfoot made that comment about Sebastian Rogers' case 8 days. 8 days after Sebastian Rogers goes, this is a case that's going to be studied for a long time, right? Oh my God. It's just the same type of crap is what it reminds me of. It's when, okay, so Christopher, like, hey, let's just do a little bit of a comparison here. Okay. Christopher Proudfoot, the Sebastian Rogers case. You want to talk about a full-blown narcissistic a-hole? Christopher Proudfoot's your man, okay? That man is so full of himself. He thinks, okay, how do you put this? You know when someone's kind of fugly ugly and that they act like they're a 20 out of a, like, 2? That type of person. And they think that their shit don't stink, right? They're full of shit, tell a lot of bullshit. But what Christopher Proudfoot did in the case of Sebastian Rogers, which is still going on. So Katie Proudfoot, spends this day, all day with Sebastian. Christopher Proudfoot, he's away in freaking Mississippi or whatever, working on some Vanderbilt hospital, right? About, as Christopher Proudfoot says, 3.37 hours from doorstep to doorstep. What Christopher Proudfoot did is he lied about taking a polygraph test. Okay? So someone specifically asked him, did you and, oh geez, what's her name now? Dang it. Katie Proudfoot. Did you and Katie take a polygraph test? And he said, yes, we did. Lying a-hole. He didn't take a polygraph test. So what did he do? When he admitted he didn't take a polygraph test, well, too late. Like Daniel. Sorry, Daniel. I'm just going to do a comparison here, okay? All right. So you got to suck it up, Buttercup, because this is what I'm doing. So you have what Daniel said, right? Let's just take it with the phone. We'll take it with the phone 911 call. And then he says it differently. But both of them are said. And so those are his words. So that means one is a lie. Christopher Proudfoot, when he was on Nancy Grace, that was, you guys, it was so hilarious. Okay. It was like, it was watching. Last night got bills to pay. Thanks, Shelly. You spend your whole monthly check on me, eh?
$6 Canadian dollars and 99 cents. You're awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna run around and desert you. Thank you for becoming a member, Sharon Rainey. Thanks, Shelly. Thanks, Sharon. So, Christopher Proudfoot on Nancy Grace. It was like watching a chubby little monkey sitting in a chair, and Katie Proudfoot, she's always playing with what she says are Sebastian's pictures. That woman couldn't look into the camera if her life depended on it. Anyways, he ends up admitting that so Katie Proudfoot, did you take a polygraph test? Yes, ma'am. Christopher Proudfoot, did you take a polygraph test? No, ma'am. Would you take a polygraph? Anytime, anywhere, ma'am. Okay, so if I set it up for you, then you'll do it, right? So Nancy Grace, she puts up the money, gets someone, to come do the polygraph test. Guess who doesn't show up? Guess who doesn't do the polygraph test? Made excuses, made bullshit. Now, Seth Rogers, the biological father, takes a polygraph test, but it's inconclusive. Why? Okay, well, he was so exhausted from the search, he literally fell asleep during his polygraph because every single day, Seth Rogers is out there always talking about his son every single day, right? So, of course, Christopher Proudfoot, when he's on lives, this is stuff he does. Again, this is what pisses me off. And this is what pisses me off with this case. Is same thing in Sebastian Rogers' case. You got the bio mom stepdad. And why the heck would you play games or lie at all? So Christopher Proudfoot goes on to, this really shit YouTube channel. But I'm not going to mention the name, but just anyways, low level trash, okay? YouTube channel. And that's where he's found his little family of these losers, let's just say. We'll call them losers. Okay, I'm sure that they're nice losers in somebody's life, but they're big-ass losers, right? Just a trashy, lower than scum itself channel. And so Christopher Proudfoot fit right in, okay? So he would go on these channels going, but I didn't say if I took a polygraph test. I just said that, yes, a polygraph. No, you doofus ass liar. I got receipts. You said it here on your freaking Facebook and you answered it. And then you sat there and lied about it. And I got that receipt, that receipt. So shut the front door, you liar, right? And so all you can think of is that this man is going on to lives and he's pretending like, you know, hi, this is Billy Joe Thornton or whatever the frick he was, right? Yeah, I'm just calling about that boy's case out there. You know, the 15-year-old boy that's missing. You know, I was just curious why you think that the stepfather had anything to do with it. And then it would be like, so this is Christopher Proudfoot. So do you understand when we showed that picture, or when I was talking about it on Dolly, that picture, you know, of the Proudfoots and Jack and Lily at the Highland Mall and the Proudfoot store? It was like this crazy connection, right? Like you literally have a bio mom and stepfather. In this case, you have a bio mom and stepfather. You have a bunch of bullshit lying going on. And whoever would take away from a case? Who would take away from a case? If you love and care about a case and you guys can't even come up with a story and you sit there and talk about freaking getting posters now and stuff like that, and that you got a freaking stapler. I'm not talking about Malaya's shit on that side right now. I'm talking about the stupid shit that we hear. You know, Daniel has to live with every comment that he makes, and he has to be accountable for every comment that he makes. But why are you lying? Why are you not telling the truth? Why are you hiding stuff? You're obviously hiding stuff. Your mom, she thinks that her boys, of course, are the greatest. You know, the best, that they're not perfect, but that they're her boys. And that no one ever thinks that their child could do anything wrong or anything that sinister. You know, and that's where Janie is sadly mistaken, unfortunately. Cases like this happen all the time. Of course, your son's going to lie to you. What's he going to do? Mom, you know what? I harmed 2 children. You know, whatever. He's not, right? He's not. But no, it's like if somebody told me that my son did something, right? At first, I'm going to be like, well, I'd probably be like, yeah, you know what? My kid actually probably did something. To be honest, he's a little shit sometimes. But no, just kidding. But anyways, no one ever wants to think that their beautiful child that they gave birth to is going to hurt children at all, right? They're just not. Regardless if that's Janie's truth or not to it, doesn't mean it's the truth. It means that that's her truth. Because every mother is going to love their son for the most part, especially if there's nothing that perhaps Janie can back it up with to say, you know what, Daniel? You know, like your timeline, it sucks ass, right? Maybe she said that to him. Like, make it make sense, Daniel. Come on. And maybe he came up with bullshit, right? Maybe he's telling the truth. Who knows? I don't think so. Because there's lying from both Malaya and Daniel. Remember? The same story ass line in the morning. The same door, right? The same thing about Amber Alert. Well, honestly, what happened to the woods? Whatever. But anyways, they tell the same story. Or they try to. But the story keeps falling apart the more that they talk. So all I can think about is the Sebastian Rogers case. Is that you could light a fire underneath their ass. You know, Daniel's ass. And he's not going to tell you the truth. It's clear as day. When people pull these stunts, you know, Netflix deal, Daniel, is that what you're thinking about? You're thinking about a girlfriend? You know, like seriously, if I don't have to make you look bad, dude, you make yourself look bad. I don't need to do that. I can just talk about it, emphasize on the lies, the contradictions, but I'm not the one making you look bad. You are. And again, you could do exactly like what your mother did. You know, speak, let it out, but you're not. And you keep using the same thing, Daniel. The same bullshit excuses. There's no reason that if you think the children are alive, that you would sit on your little Miss Tuffet, right, Miss Tuffet? And freaking sit there for 2 months and 11 days and go, well, you know what? Got my stapler. Good to go now. Bullshit. Whatever. Somebody brought you those posters with bracelets, right? From Alana, probably, obviously. Bought them for you. But that's a joke. Like, and so what I'm going back to is this, you know, every ounce of me is screaming narcissist to Daniel, that he's bigger than life, that he's smarter than us. That's how he's portraying himself. Then you got Christopher Proudfoot, big mouth, talking on all the channels, right? So it's the same shit happening. Oh, the scar was, you can see it. Like, I mean, regardless, it was from years ago. I gotta squirt my face. Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and I'm not even sure what that word is. Hold on. I gotta go. Thanks. I gotta spray myself. It's so hot, guys. Seriously. It's 27 degrees and it's almost 8 o'clock. All right. Oh yeah. Hold on. There we go. Gotta give the girls a spritz. All right. Okay, so I'm just gonna go down here. Shannon, they go with anyone. They're so friendly. Those comments, yeah, those ones actually really bugged me because it came across that like let's just say Malaya put these children in a vehicle at some point. Somebody here? Is that Charmaine? Ken? Is that you, Ken? Show your face. You gotta make me believe it's you. Hold on. 1 second. I gotta get rid of this other stuff. Hold on. I gotta be able to see you. Only because people do that shit. Show your face. Nope. All I see is a K. Ken. There you are. I thought you were sleeping. What the heck are you doing? What the heck are you doing, buddy?
But I had to keep a watch on you. I told you that in the chat.
What? Is that what you said?
That I was going to keep an eye on you when you started talking about me and Charmaine after we both left.
I did not. Prove it. Got screenshots? Got screenshots? Got a recording?
But I just came back on here to say, people, when people talk, how can I say this and be nice?
You don't have to.
Don't hammer them and give them time for themselves. And the only reason why I'm telling you that, Sonny, is because they're over there hammering Lana and Bree and Janie again.
Who is?
Everybody in the chat. They're trying to get another conversation going.
Wait, in our chat?
No, over in Leah or Bria's and
are
in
they?
the private chat. Like, they're going through some. There was people that weren't there this afternoon that are there now, and some of them are asking the same questions. Like, I just wanted people, like, don't hamper people. Give them time, and especially Bree and Lana, like, give them a break. They're trying to do everything that they can.
Absolutely.
So I just want to say to everybody, don't give people a break.
Yeah.
Be nice. And I'm going to go back listening, but I won't be on the live. So, night.
Are you trying to leave me again? Okay, fine. Go ahead. Good night, buddy. All right. I always got to boot him. Kick the guest. Kick him in the butt. On there. 1 second. 1 second. What am I doing? Oh my god. You guys, I've been up since like 5 o'clock this morning. Working. Sweating. In the heat. But my husband, he was cleaning the apartment, so I don't care. I'll take all of that if it means me not cleaning. That's a good wife that I am. Leah, am I taking after you just a little bit? I am overly fair. I'm more than fair on there. People, again, you know, All I got to do is boot someone and then they're in somebody else's channel bashing. They don't see no wrong in what they did at all. And I don't care. Go ahead. I'm rubber, you're glue. What bounces off me sticks to you. In my information, RCMP know exactly. I believe so, Shannon. Okay. Yeah, they didn't fall off the turnip truck either on there. I have a question. What would Daniel be doing if it was his actual kids were in this situation? I don't think he'd be putting up posters until they got a stapler. No offense, but that... What can you even say to that comment, to be honest, without laughing? It's not funny, but it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. Like, oh, you got to work here at 8 a.m. Lucid Dreams, thank you so much. Thank you guys again for your time. I appreciate that. Anon, thank you for being here. Well, thing is, right? We don't have central air like that. It's the best thing ever. In this apartment, we did have an air conditioner, Little Miss Muffin Top, and it blew up almost like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I was laying in bed, fast asleep, and all of a sudden it was like a freaking, like a plane or something was coming. It was the most horrific sound. What it was I think it was this plastic part of the fan that started spinning around, but it was like, but it's like, think of that like 1,000 times louder. And I wake up going, oh my God, earthquake? What? What's going on? My husband runs in the room, and then it's the air conditioner. Now that air conditioner, it was like $1,000 air conditioner, but it lasted 5 years, 6 years, but I'm not willing, the thing was my husband and my brother-in-law bought an air conditioner together for in the living room. And it's funny, it had more, what is it called again? More, we'll just say gigahertz for the sake of it. It had more, to it. And yeah, it sucks ass, that $600, $700 air conditioner. That one can suck it too. So it's really hard to want to put out $1,000. If I put $1,000 out for the same one, and you know what? This is what I don't get. My husband can do anything, okay? He's a plumber, electrician. He can build. He can do whatever he wants. But my husband he doesn't want to seem to take apart that air conditioner. He's like, I don't know how to fix air conditioners. Wait, what? Are you being lazy? Because, you and YouTube are pretty much good friends. Best friends, as a matter. So I don't understand this. So I'm not going to give up on that air conditioner, and until it's the last thing standing for that air conditioner. I want proof that we can't buy a part that's like $50, $100 and fix that sucker. It ain't going down to the trash without a fight. I'll tell you that much. Mark, smart to wait for more. Smart to wait for more evidence available. No one would get convicted based on what we know. Maybe some CPS charges, but we don't even know the circumstances around that. Basically, if it's not the conversation, no need. I watch channels for the chance to learn facts, not dwell in the speculation. Well, we always do try to bring always the facts first, then get into the speculation on there. That's all I hear. That's my most important thing to me, is the facts. The facts, then my mind starts to churn about, okay, what did happen to Jack and Lily? Where is the lies being told? Because no one's telling the truth here, And when I say no one, I truly mean Malaya and Daniel. They're the ones that were in charge of Jack and Lily. They disappeared on their watch. And, the truth will come out. So they can lie however much they want. No, I'll get one. Thanks, Mark. I'll look at my emails later, Mark. I got some laundry. I promised my husband that if there's one thing I would do after all he did, that I would at least put away the laundry. Oh, I'm such a horrible wife. I should talk him into doing the laundry. I keep my house 73 degrees and it's 80 outside. You talking non 73 degrees? You're talking USA shit, right? You're talking those type of numbers. Can we get back to well, no. So Jackson, I told Belinda that she's more than allowed to come up on any live. Like I said to Belinda today, that any time that you feel, again, just like Janie felt when the time was right, when Belinda feels that the time is right, that she needs to talk about things, to just let me know. Okay? Belinda's not into the drama, but there's into drama. She said a lot, and I'm sure that she might have something to say again as all this information keeps coming out. So, kind of like in chat today, she probably wants to think about things, but it's not guaranteed. I just basically said, whenever you want to come back up, and you have something to say, just let me know. Simple as that. I mean, I'll take her up on any live she wants to come up at and talk, but there's only so much she can say. But I mean, I know that lots of stuff are coming out now, so she might want to talk about some things. Anyways, I'll just leave it to that. I'm not going to pressure her. I pressured Daniel, but I know I'm not going to get anywhere with Daniel. It more is like a poke the bear thing now. Would we be going around in circles, or Daniel saying I did a good job having to answer questions if it weren't his stepchildren and his actual children? Well, exactly. We don't know, obviously, because these aren't his children, but he says they called him dad. That probably would have been a good question for Janie. If that was true. She might not. Well, she should have had no problem answering that, to be honest with you. And maybe the children did. Again, maybe Daniel did do a lot of, taking care of the kids. Don't know. Like I said, Malaya's hiding beyond the wall, right? It would be nice. Again, it really depends. With Malaya, though, because it's this game, a little bit of hide and seek, and like a little kind of like pop goes the weasel, like up goes my Facebook, out goes some pictures, up goes my Facebook, down goes my Facebook, up goes my Facebook, right? We don't really know what the end game is there at all. Because of the fact of her not speaking, some family members are starting to come out. They obviously shared some pictures of the 911 call, right? So let's show that back on stage again. 911 call goes out at 10:01. So we know still on the scanner radio and stuff like that, 8 o'clock. So I really need to go, like I said, through Janie's her timeline and see where it sits with all the other information out there. And if there's inconsistencies, like, okay, so there's an inconsistency that I heard her make when she was talking. And again, and it's these small little inconsistencies that can make a difference when somebody is talking. So she was talking about not hearing, that she could hear Jack and Lily. But then she also made a comment in that same particular conversation where Janie said that she heard the kids playing near the swing set. Well, you don't hear kids playing near the swing set, I suppose. Well, I guess you could. She said, I'd have to go back because I guess you could hear them near the swing set, because all you would have to do is hear the, little swing set moving around. And you know how swing sets are for kids, right? Squeak, 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 squeak. So I'd have to go exactly listen to her words on that. But it came out strange. I remember that. So I'd have to go back and listen to that one before I actually put more thought into that. Yeah, that's okay if she says that. Ashlyn says that. I mean, that like, there's nothing wrong with her saying that, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, she obviously knows when she can come and go. But that's just somebody that says, "Hey, I don't want to listen to speculation. I just want facts." Right? BTUs. That's the word, Drippy. BTUs. I didn't pay 1,000. I think. Yeah, I know that, but the one that we have in the living room sucks ass, Drippy. It sucks butt. The RCMP has to believe the behavior is very. Oh, like I said, you know what? I think this is just a matter of, um. Well, you know what? I need to listen to Janie's stuff again. But the RCMPs are no bumpkins, and I think that there's like stuff out there. But honestly, you guys, um, it's it's all as good. Like, let's just get real. Everything is about um digital DNA. Okay, most cases are solved nowadays because of digital DNA. If those children are hidden somewhere in those woods, right? Like look at Sebastian Rogers' case, digital DNA, cameras, all that stuff. But most cases are solved now because of digital DNA. In this case, the digital DNA is pretty spotty in some of the stuff, right? You're talking about an enormous amount of trees that these kids could be hidden anywhere if they were unalived. The chief going off the rails didn't help Malaya's case. Like, the chief going off the rails only added to the kind of hidden theory out there, right? And that's what it's like a freaking yo-yo, like a pendulum, back and forth, right? Back and forth. 1 minute you're thinking this, then you're thinking that, then you're like, okay, well, this information, okay. And honestly, honest to God, and it's all because of lies and mistruth and a mother that runs away and nothing, crickets, mostly just crickets. You guys, all right, I gotta go. I'm keep yawning. I'm hungry. It's 8 o'clock. I have to be up at 4:30 in the morning because I work in the office for the next 2 days on there, and I'm hot on there. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Um, when I get home tomorrow, well, no, tonight, I'm gonna go get me some freaking food. I'm gonna plunk my ass. I'm gonna go through all of Janie's messages, and that way I have my shit together. Okay. And I just want to hear everything properly as she has said it, and then align it with obviously everything else that's been said. So yeah, I keep yawning. It's pretty much your fault there, Shannon. I feel like all these yawn. You know what? We almost got 600 view or likes. We're at 571. Yeah. Anyways, you guys, stay blessed. I'll come back tomorrow. We'll go over some more of the what Janie said. Okay, guys, and then I'll have like today. I got off of work. I was trying to listen to the messages. After that, my head became mush. I had to make a thumbnail. Janie was still talking. I was going to do a live at 3, and then I had to change it to 4 because Janie was still talking, right? And so of course, I'd rather listen to Janie talk than to do a live, And so, but at the end of the day, none of us, me, Charmaine, and Kent, because Janie was like, once she got that mic going, again, she was woo woo. She was just like message after message on some of these, Once she got going on that thing. And so, which is great. because I like talking to people a lot like that on my own messenger. Just makes it easier than trying to type, right? But yeah, that's old news actually. To be honest with you, Layla, like that's so last month news, that stuff. So yes, know about Amalea's dad and whatever it was, Daniel's brother or whatever. But anyways, that honestly is last month's news. More than a month, to be honest. That was like first week news. I don't like to talk about things so much. Meaning, did I feel like sorry, yawn. Did I feel like Malea's dad's had anything to do with Jack and Lily going missing? I didn't. So if I don't feel like it has anything to do with it, I don't really waste my time on it. And so that's why we spent very little time on that particular subject, because I just don't like going down what I consider a useless road. I know everything should be looked at, don't get me wrong, but it didn't make sense. It made me laugh though that the dad said, "Baby girl, I'm a tracker," type of thing. "If this ever happens again, baby girl, you reach out to daddy." I mean, that was really ridiculous. Absolutely unhinged. Absolutely. We'll leave it with this last thought. In my opinion, Daniel and Malaya know what happened to the kids and where they are. Absolutely. I agree with that. Um, I agree with that, and a lot of people do. Like, I don't think anyone really thinks that they went off on a magic carpet ride, or that they're in the woods, or that they were abducted by a stranger. It's just a matter of Malaya, Daniel, Malaya, Daniel, Malaya, Daniel, anybody else, we'll see, guys. We'll see. Anyways, so yeah, I'm just going to say goodnight now. Thank you, everyone, for being here. See you tomorrow.
A Norfolk night, the world is cold. We stand surrounded, we are not alone. We